What's that noise?
Huh?
What that noise?
I'm mixing my hot chocolate, my friend.
Yeah! Back Sunday evening. Everyone's at their Sunday roast or Sunday curry goat or Sunday egusi with pounded yam and amala. Everybody is at their Sunday fish and chips, Chinese, yeah, tandoori. But there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with the magical words of dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on up, because we're winning at it.
Yeah, I like that. Old type Bobby Wright. You know, man's repping the Arsenal top of the league. Back where we will finish at the top, mate. No, there ain't no. The nearest Tottenham are coming to the top of the league is watching us at the top. So big up Arsenal, FC again. Saka done the business, crossed it over. Beautiful play by Saka, I must say. And boom, good signing, Trossard back of the net. Yeah, 1-0, first game, first goal for the club, and we're moving. Big up Trossard and big up the man. For me, one of the most consistent youths today, the man called Saka, young, humble brother. And yeah, we're moving. So for the first 15 minutes, you will see the red and white, the Arsenal top. I'm not taking it off for 50. Oh, let me set the alarm because I'm not taking my Arsenal top off for 15 minutes minimum.
Well,
really, that should be 45 minutes to signify.
Down, boss, pick up yourself. Listen, Tunde,
Yo,
you can guess up Arsenal you want.
Arsenal the best squad out there, mate. You just love it or hate it.
You know what?
The facts don't lie.
It's a good thing that they are. You know what I mean, big up Thomas Partey. You know what I mean, we might have to get him on the show. You know,
yeah,
we might have to get him on the show because he's tight with one of our mates, Rob. So yeah, he's proper tight with him.
Okay,
we might have to do
that. Let's big up the people on already. Ooh,
come on.
60 people on a Sunday, but big up Daniel J. Bolton, big up the one and only Mr. Bobby Wright. Hard Pass Fashion, the lovely Hard Pass Fashion. Good evening, Tunde Spencer. How are you both? Well, we're even better for you joining us this evening. Rob Mayer, big up. Coco's in the building. Dirt Gang Boss. We're at Esso. Yeah, Naze, Andre, Bukenya. The 505, the people, we're just warming up. And you know, Sunday is always it's akin to church. The Sunday Fight is Right is akin to the mosque. No disrespect. No, I don't know, man.
Furthermore, if it's akin to those things, where's the collection? Come put the carbon collection now.
Yeah, bro, who's gonna be the first to put in a collection pot? Because the Snapchat, the super chat pot. That's how we know that we're definitely in church. But anyway, Joe Barrow, big up. Take Me Back Private Radio Archives is in the building as well. And I'm looking forward to quite an eventful discussion, sit down, family chit chat. It's going to be a good one. Old tight Skyliner, the editor. Tunde, what lotion you use for your face? Just shining, no fruity business. Appreciation of the skincare. Old type Bobby Wright, 449 Sunday collection is started, bro.
It started already. Big up Bobby Wright, man. Big up Bobby Wright. Yeah. Well, before we jump into the AJ press conference, and we'll talk about this Tank Garcia if it's going to happen because it's going kind of big up bonkers boxing, right? It's all over the place. This I want to know is this, like, did you see the boxing yesterday?
Yeah, but we're going to touch on it. We've got to, do things chronologically. So I think before we go on to the USA boxing and the British boxing, let's touch on the main subject. The lovely, Shiesty, I don't like the way you ain't been contacted, man. I was just telling Spencer that I said, bro, what's happening with my sister?
Nah. I see her yesterday, man.
wait. I'm saying I can't hear nothing from my sister. I know, no, but it's my fault because, you know, when I'm in camp, tunnel vision. But it is absolutely wonderful to have your presence back in the building. You know, Shasty's got that kind of energy that you need. You need that Shasty energy when you're doing anything. Whether you're just sitting down having a biscuit, so it don't matter.
I also have to apologize to the sister, because I said to her jokingly, "Are you bleaching?" And like,
yeah, from you said that. I mean, it was, bro, Shasty, like, bro, because you know she's old school. So that, bro, when you said that, I haven't heard from Shasty since then because you took that one personally.
Yeah. I mean, but it was, you know, it was Ramel, my stepson. He was like, "Nah, man, nah. She's to be darker than that, bro."
Bro, don't stop.
Well, no, Tunde, I told her yesterday. So when I saw her yesterday, I had to apologize to her sister. I gave her a big hug. She was there and she's doing a reporting now. She was there with a camera on the stand, spinning and everything. I like seeing those kind of things, man. I really do like seeing those kind of things because, like, And so I posted the picture of me and her, yeah. Okay. And the amount of man's asking me, "Who's that girl, bro?"
Don't try to get shy on this thing. Even though I can see the big griffin in her face from here, I can feel it. But she's doing her thing in the boxing platform now, and everyone. I don't know if the YouTube channel is up yet, but when it does come up, make sure you subscribe and lock in, because as Half Past Fashion has quite rightly pointed out, she says, yes, Shasty, she's amazing. She always delivers some amazing points on here. Correct. And Half Past Fashion, I'm just assuming that you're a woman, even at your profile picture, because you know some man, you don't even know. They will just put woman on their profile, but I'm just assuming you're another sister. So big up. Anyway, can we get on with the show? I think we've given Shasty enough big ups for one evening. No, we're going to keep bigging her up. But anyway, yeah, before we touch onto the UK scene and the American scene, let's talk about the two topics which are the forefront of the poster for tonight's show, which is the AJ Franklin fight, and also is this Tank Garcia born and bred a woman? Yes, sir. Come on, you know that. Yeah. There's no discrepancy now. I know what I go on. Sorry, I know what's happening.
Yeah,
let's touch. Hold on. It's not 15 minutes yet. Yeah, I still got my Arsenal top on for 9 more minutes. But anyway, let's touch on the AJ Franklin fight first, and let's touch on some points with regards to the press conference. I know you phoned me, because I didn't watch it, but you phoned me and told me about a few points which you were not concerned about, but you know, we can raise them on the show. So first and foremost, what do we think about this fight?
Tunde, remember when we did the watch along, and after the fight, I said AJ must have been sitting there and said, "Right, I would knock out this Franklin brother." Right? Remember?
Yeah.
To crack up as well. So I think nothing hasn't changed from that, and it is Anthony Joshua trying to rebuild. We've seen, like, when a fighter's trying to rebuild, especially in the heavyweight division, trying to rebuild, and you generate the money that you can generate, it is about playing it safe. Franklin's not a big puncher, right? But he's technically very sound, right? So he's now aligned with Derek James, and Derek James better big up the fighters, right? And me and Tunde won our 10%, right? So when Derek James blessed our show, and we were speaking about how comes Anthony Joshua didn't go out to Derek James, went out to everybody else in Houston, but he didn't touch there. But we know why. But now he's there now, so that's what we can say is that that's a good thing. And when we saw Franklin box against Dillian Whyte, many people thought that Franklin was a deserved winner in that fight. What I'm saying is this, is like close fights are close fights. Close fights are not robberies, especially when you have to also take in many different factors in why a decision goes in the way that it did go. You were the foreign fighter, you were the away fighter, Dylan White was the home fighter. That's subjective.
Spencer, you start with your little Wi-Fi, fam. I keep telling it, sir.
What are you talking about?
You start with your little Wi-Fi. You don't come back like this, bro. You're big Spencer Fearon.
What are you talking about?
Cutting out business.
Is it cutting out?
And your face freezing like some statue. Bro, it's just some freeze business, Gary. Bro, Spencer, bro, I don't know something about you know. Bro, you're big Spencer Fearon. And you can't even afford a decent Wi-Fi, mate. Some little Wi-Fi. Bro, this is an oldie. You're moving with the oldie Wi-Fi.
Nah, bro. Is it back normal now?
Yeah, listen, for now it's all right, but your face keeps on freezing like some statue.
Bro, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It's too much. You know what it is? It's all these blinking kids in this house. Because the kids have got week holiday. Every minute they're just clocking up Wi-Fi, jumping on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're telling them to be quiet. They said, Dad, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet, but I'm going upstairs to pay some computer game or something and mash it up.
No, they should be going to their bed. That's what they should be doing, but it is what it is. So yeah. So when we go back, like with Franklin, he's got another bite at the cherry because, like, I know for a fact Eddie Earn would have gone to him and butted him and said, look, don't worry, son. We'll bring you back for a big fight. Yeah, don't worry. But really and truly, Franklin should be looking at it like they're bringing you over to be a lamb to the slaughter. They're not bringing it's not like, yeah, don't worry. Son. Right, that's what they're doing. So I reckon that AJ taking this fight, Franklin being sneaky, Franklin being short. We're gonna see how AJ adjusts because remember he's in with a new trainer. And also, as much as I like the fact that Derek James is with Anthony Joshua psychologically, like to the physical bits, I'm not rightly sure, and I'm gonna tell you reasons why. Because Derek James hasn't trained no heavyweight on his resume.
Can I answer that?
Of course you can.
Yeah. I've never subscribed to that kind of way of thinking. Because you haven't done something, it doesn't mean you can't do it.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just got reservations.
I'm just saying that because you haven't done something, it doesn't mean you can't do it. What I know is that when I look at the two individuals, AJ and Derek, knowing or having met Derek and what he's achieved, I think that the two of them actually they go quite well. Their characters are quite the same. Very laid back, only speak when they have to speak, and are very articulate when it comes to doing their job. Hence why he's got a unified, undisputed champion and a unified champion in the camp in Errol Spence and the Charlo. So I think that in that respect, just having that body of work surrounding you, regardless if it's a heavyweight or a non-heavyweight, bruv, I just think that, look, so I remember I was training a certain heavyweight, and the dad was like, have you ever trained heavyweight? I'm like, bruv, what's that got to do with it? Bruv, what? Because of my height? It's nothing to do with it. Because then you look at some of the best trainers of heavyweight, they've all been short.
Mm-hmm.
They're short guys.
Angelo on a little sharp man,
Yes.
Emmanuel Stewart, a little short man.
Eddie Futch,
a little short man,
Yeah, a little short man. So,
Really Ball used to call him Papa Smurf. He was that tiny.
He was that tiny. So I just feel that.
Naz, big up yourself. Salam Brothers. Vidal O'Reilly, too small for cruiserweight. He's going to be like Isaac Chamberlain type. Isaac Chamberlain type. Too big for 175, too small for cruiserweight.
You definitely have not stood in front of Vidal O'Reilly.
Massive.
You definitely ain't stood in front of Vidal O'Reilly. That's nonsense. Trust me. I've seen smaller cruiserweights. I'm just
going to address this for you, Naz, because thank you for the £5. Yeah, Vidal O'Reilly. I'm 6 foot. And I stood beside, he's taller than me and he's broad as well. And I said, Vidal, you know what? It's deceiving because you look small when we watch you on TV, but that's because he fights from a crouch style. But he's a big unit. I mean, he's a very, very big unit. And I enjoyed this fight yesterday as well. I really did. I enjoyed this fight yesterday. I mean, I wish it was a more conclusive stoppage because the guy got a cut and he wanted to continue as well. So my heart goes out to that Taj brother. But yeah, he's got skills, man.
Vidal's got skills. He's got smart. Listen, again, Vidal, his attention has to move away, and it has moved away from the more social media type, YouTube type boxing, and it's time for him to focus. But I know the dad very well. I know Vidal since he was a youth, and as a youth, he won everything. He literally was a star as a young boxer. Won so many titles. And so it's just a refocus, because in this thing you just have to be focused. So as time, I personally believe where Vidal's concerned, as time goes on, he's going to develop into a very, very good professional, because he is.
And Tunde, he can rap as well. The year is true when he come out.
Vidal can do everything, bro.
Yeah, Vidal, he can properly rap. Though. It's not like some little joke rap. He can actually rap. I was well impressed with his rap tune when he come out to.
He better stick to boxing while all that rapping thing, because them things don't mix. Boxing and rapping don't mix. I'll tell you that for free. Go and ask Adrian Broner. Go and ask Roy Jones. When they start switching all this music rapping business, boxing is not a sport where you multitask. No, you don't multitask. And I just feel that it gets more serious and you need more focus as time goes on. So I believe he's focused on boxing now anyway. But again, only because it's a Snapchat, we're talking about that right now. We're going back to the AJ situation. I do believe that regardless of the fact that Derek James hasn't trained a notable heavyweight, I still feel that he's the man for AJ to bring back AJ to the point. Going to the press conference itself, what do you have to say about that, Spence?
When AJ was asked a question, and they said, like, what's your desire to be doing in the game right now? Oh, yes. Big up Anton Speaks. I also heard the same thing on when Anton did his ITV
15 minutes. Arsenal Tough's coming off. Carry on, Spence.
No, right? Alexander Wilson. I'm going to get back to this AJ thing. Big up Alexander Wilson. Thank you for the $5. Did you see the Cuban heavyweight Leonardo Fearon on last night's PBS card? He is good skill set. He might be top 10 in 2 years. I didn't see the fight. I saw highlights. I didn't see the fight in its entirety. But yeah, he's got wicked skills. I got to give him that, man. That Fearon, he's got very, very good skills. And you know what? And when we're looking on these guys, like, Frank Sanchez is leading the way right now for Cuban heavyweights. But Tunde, that is a rapid change,
Come on, bro. Man's a black Superman out here.
Yeah, that's some Clark Kent business you're going on with. But yeah, like the Cubans are pushing forward on their thing. Yeah, Spencer, are you really 6 foot? You mean no? I'm actually, trust me, Lucan, I'm actually 6 foot. People get deceived because they see me where sat down. When they meet me in real life, say, "Oh, you're taller than what I expected." Yeah, right.
Pedro, I saw that, man. He clapped the man with a body shot and clapping with a right hand. He looked good. He looked good. I'm looking forward to see what his progress is like. I did see him though, and I did watch that fight. He looks decent.
Yeah, he got good skills. But yeah, yes, my sister from another mister.
Who that? Karma, the wonderful Karma Serene. Happy Sunday. Blessings, my brother. Big up K Money. Delivering 49. I don't even know what the exchange rate is right now, but believe me, that's more than the English pound.
Listen, I don't business what it is. The mere fact that people show love, and I appreciate that so much. More so that the people who jump on our show, they go where they are appreciated and not tolerated. So, I'm so grateful that people jump on air. You know what I mean? Since Spencer slimmed up, he looks 6'1" in real life now. Yeah. Now, you know what? Yeah, I dropped I took off a stone. You know what I mean? I took off a stone. And people think, right, how did you do it? I said, right, have you seen the gas electric prices right now?
Bro, come on, let's keep it. Anton, big up. Anton Speaks. He says, As Spencer said, I interviewed AJ before the presser. I asked him if he liked doing the pressers. He said no, it's just business. He sounded focused. He said he still wanted to be a three-time world champ. Yeah, I mean, we get the feeling. The thing is, I was saying this today. It's just like, and we'll go back to this to the Adam Azim situation. It's very, very difficult when you've been put on that pedestal, whether you like it or not. You're out there now, so it's like even with us, Anthony Yard, and guys that have had a meteoric rise in this thing. It's like, okay, so now you're a pay-per-view star, you're a 12-round fighter, you're fighting all these championship fights. It's like the public won't allow you to go back down to the level really you need and the experience you need to really develop, Spence.
You know what, Ton? I agree with you to an extent, but what's happened, this is a difficult thing. Anthony Joshua has done everything underneath the spotlight since the 2012 Olympics, right? When he comes back with the gold medal, and he wins it in his home country. That may even more so, it's more eyeballs on you, and then you were groomed into be this superstar, right? And I think he's handled himself really well, but there's times where the real Anthony Joshua just wants to come out, right? And the real Anthony Joshua is pushing to come out. So now he's kind of getting bored of it because he says, listen, I just want to get in a ring and prove to people, because it takes a very, very, in the world that we live in now, it takes a very, very strong person to actually muffle their ears away from all of the chit chat and all of the people calling your name and blah, 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 and the comments written about you and all the rest of it. Very difficult. It is hard. But especially when you want to prove yourself, because people are saying like, look, you were just manufactured. Eddie Hearn just gave you a title that was stripped from Tyson Fury. You ain't, right. So all of these kind of things, what's that? AJ, right.
They said, big up Capo Boxing, young trainer, a young youth that I talk to regular, and he's hungry, man. He said, real AJ is the best AJ.
Exactly.
And I'm going to go on to that, but carry on what you're saying, Spence.
Right. So I'm saying like now, I think Anthony Josh is like, right, you know what? To hell with this, I was going to punch up, man. Right? This is maybe where his head's at, to say, right, I'm going to work on certain things and I'm going to go back. And I think the good thing, and this is a good thing, and I said this on many occasions before, being in a gymnasium where you got Errol Spence in there, you got Charlo in there, you got a unified champion in there, and you've got an undisputed champion in there. I think you ain't the star boy, right? You're the star boy economically, but you're not the star boy because you're not in a pound for pound rankings. Those other two men who are in that camp are. So I think that
you say he's not the star boy economically. How do you know that, Spence?
No. I said he's the star boy economically, but he's not.
But how do you know that? You don't know what Errol's cutting.
What are you talking about? Errol Spence hasn't earned more money than Anthony Joshua.
You can't say that.
Errol Spence has not, the world heavyweight champion who has fought constantly on pay-per-view.
You don't know what man's earning. The point I'm saying is you don't know what man's earning.
Okay. I know. Okay, all right. I don't know what man's earning, but
you don't know what man's earning. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Stop it.
You can't say that. You don't know what man's earning. You can't say that.
Stop it now.
I'm not gonna go on, but I'm just saying you can't say what man's earning. You just can't. You don't know.
Tunde.
Listen, there's brothers rolling. I'm just saying, there's brothers rolling around the hood in Rolls Royces. If you go and open up their fridge, you can see the back of it.
I don't care about that. I'm
just telling you what I'm telling you.
It now. Anthony Joshua has been a pay-per-view star in the UK since. Wait a minute. Since the Dylan White fight. Do you know how many years ago that was? And every time he fights, and he's fought more regularly than Errol Spence. You can't say that. I'm telling you now, economically, Anthony Joshua has earned far more than Errol Spence and Charlo. I would even be brazen enough to say combined together, he's earned more than them. right?
Spence, you don't
No,
know what's
that's what I'm saying. You don't interrupt me. Let me
Don't say this.
I'm talking.
What I'm
No,
saying
no.
is,
Listen,
what I'm saying is, what I'm
finish
saying is,
talking. Then you can say,
we're not arguing. We're just being
we're not
real.
arguing.
Listen, all I'm saying is this to cut the whole thing.
All right, Ben, please Google it, please.
What I'm saying is just to cut that off. A man could earn something, is income. You don't know what a man's expenses are. You may know what a man's gross figures is. You don't know what a man's net figure is. Because you don't know what a man is. You don't know.
No, thank you very much.
You don't know a man.
I think
Listen.
Baba Tunde Ajayi is I think
Anyway, this is boxing. Let's carry on. Anyway, let's carry on.
Well, I'm not triggered. I'm not triggered at all. But this is
because
the best. This is the thing. Why it's so good? Because we're meant to have these kind of things where we disagree. Because I've never learned nothing from someone I've agreed with. But there is no way Errol Spence has earned more money than Anthony Joshua. Period.
Listen to what I said and rewind the tape when we finish. All I'm saying is you can't say how much a man is earned. You don't know what a man is earned, what his net figure is. That's all I'm saying. And that's facts. That's facts. We know what it appears like. But you don't know Spence. So you can't say this or that, hand on heart. You don't know what a man's
Thank you very much. I reckon I'm safely gonna say hand on heart.
Anyway, let's carry on Let's carry on.
You're gonna say that, Tun. I'm safely gonna say that.
Okay.
I mean, world heavyweight champion who's been the darling of British boxing for nearly a decade. Come on, man.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not a man's business. That's what I said to you. I personally wouldn't say, I wouldn't make a statement. That's just me. You understand? Because you don't know what a man's netting. You know, you may look like, or you may think you know what a man's grossing, but you don't know. You just don't know. But anyway, let's carry on. Anton was saying that AJ was basically saying that he doesn't like the interviews and he looks like he's up for it. What kind of energy and what kind of feeling was you getting from the whole thing?
1 second. Who's that?
Baba Tunde.
Yeah, you say you're programming the youths. Yeah, I love that. Come on, Baba Tunde in the building all day, every day. Come on. Anyway, so okay. Yeah, bless her. What did you feel? I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like AJ's got his mojo back? You know, I know he said that it's a business and that's all he's concerned about. How do you feel about a statement like that?
Sorry, could you repeat? I was actually reading what Ivan was just saying. He said he just Googled it. Anthony Joshua's net worth is 100 million. Errol Spence's net worth is 7 million. It's on Google.
Okay. Yeah, everything's on Google. Because it's on Google, we must believe it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like.
Anyway, listen. I'm not here to discuss man's money. That's not me. I don't. I'm just saying is that you can't say.
Wait, stop for a second. I wasn't discussing. I was saying Anthony Joshua going into that gym, and I will go back to it, and I will reiterate. Anthony Joshua in that gym is not the star boy. He may be the star boy economically. This is what I said. But when it comes to being a star boy right now, because you've got two men inside of a gym, and I wasn't saying it to demise Anthony Joshua. I'm saying it's a good thing because iron sharpens iron. So when you're around it, you know it is birds of a feather.
Are you trying to tell me that they're going to be trained at the same time?
No, they're not going to be trained at the same time.
Exactly. So how is iron sharpen iron if they're not trained at the same time?
Wait there. Iron sharpens iron because the key hub of the whole thing is that he's in that gymnasium, right? And the energy that is going to be around that camp is going to have some lasting effect. Just like similarly, when Nassim Hamed and Lennox Lewis were both being trained by Emmanuel Stewart, they were all up in the Poconos Mountains together, and there were different times that they were training.
He lost. He lost.
Who lost?
Nas, when he fought Barrera. It was,
no.
Who was he trained by when he fought Barrera?
1 second.
Who was he trained by when he fought Barrera?
1 second and let me talk. That's not the only fight that he had with Manuel Stewart, though.
Say again?
That's not the only fight he had with Manuel Stewart.
No, but I'm just Again, I'm highlighting
Right.
what you
He
said.
lost. Okay, but that's not the only time that he had a fight with Manuel Stewart.
How many fights did he have with Manny before he lost?
He had first time he came into play with Manuel Stewart was with the Paul Ingle fight. He had 3 fights with Manuel Stewart and he lost on his 4th fight.
Okay.
Right? So
but before that, it was with Brandon Ingle. He never lost.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
But the point I'm saying is the fact that you move somewhere with better fighters.
No. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the times, nothing to do about how they're training and winning. Why don't you listen? Yeah, I mean, why don't you listen?
Listening, bro. I'm being that God's advocate and just showing you a certain mirror.
God's advocate, but this is the fight is right. This is not talk time with Tunde, right? This is right, which was very good, man. I really enjoyed the show. But
don't watch that. That's another show. Let's keep
I think the bleach on your teeth is getting to your head. But what I'm saying to you is this, yeah? Tunde, your teeth look shiny today, though.
Don't worry about that. Carry on. Listen, you see me? I'm just not one of them people that is going to let you talk.
No.
I
am saying.
I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
What I am saying to you is that even though, and I'll use that example, Lennox Lewis and Nassim Hamed were not being trained at the same time, they were around each other.
Okay, this is what I just said.
So therefore, no. So therefore, iron sharpens iron. I'm not firing shots, menace to society. I'm just saying that is.
But what I'm trying to say, anyway, I'm talking from a trainer. You ain't a trainer, so we're gonna differ on a few things. But we're gonna differ on a few things, but let's keep it moving. Thank you, Nidra Gupta, for the 449. There's only one Anthony worth talking about. His last name is Yard. AJ could learn from Tunde and bust man up like he was straight off the road. Thank you very much. Listen, energy goes where energy flows, and people make their own decisions, and your own decisions are always the best. That's how I feel. So whatever Anthony Joshua is doing is the best thing for him. As a brother, as a supporter of boxing, as a supporter of any man that undertakes a sport of boxing, I'm always in support of them because this is just a hard thing. This boxing thing is not a joke.
It's not. Thank you both for the $8.99.
Company's house. Man's going on to company's house now. Man's going deep.
Thank you very much, boats.
Shows AJ.
Boats.
Can I read a comment? You little
Shut up,
man. Shut up. Let me do my thing, man.
Shut up.
Company's house shows AJ got 240 million in cash and assets combined in his companies. That ain't even including his personal wealth. Can't see Errol anywhere near that. I rate Tunde's point though. Thank you very much. All right, cool. Yeah, good point. And good statistics. Good statistics. Go ahead, Spenny.
Yeah. I've lost my train of thought there because
no. Is AJ hungry? And can he get
yes, I do believe he's hungry. Simple fact is that when a man leaves his comfort zone to say you're going to America, and you know it goes to, in America, you know them Yankee man don't rate English man.
Not at all.
They don't rate us. Right. There's certain man they will get ratings from, but they don't really rate us. So I think that's a very bold move by him, and I think that's going to put the bit between his teeth to say, like, right, I'm going to show man what time of day it is. And also, one thing I do know for certain is that Derek D. James doesn't muck around. He's very, he don't muck around. He don't play with his training thing. So because of that, then I'm saying I believe that we're going to see a very, very good, hungry AJ. Like I said, I didn't like the fact when he was asked, he said, yeah, I'm doing this for the money because I've been broke before and I'm doing it for the money. I didn't like that, him saying that, but I just think he's just had enough. And he said, look, yeah, I'm doing it for the money. I just want to broke up, man.
Yeah, my son Anthony's just messaging me. Come on, carry on, Spenny. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. What's that? Anton speaks. Let me just turn this off. Anton speaks says, question. Is boxing at this time a job or a passion for Anthony Joshua? IG, he's motivated by the desire to add more titles to his legacy or money in his bank account. And I think Anthony Joshua is being motivated by both. The fact of legacy, the fact of becoming a three-time heavyweight champion. I think that has a lot to do with it, right? But then obviously he's also realizing that he's being honest by saying, like, I know the figures that I can generate. So, and I know how much I remember. He signed a lifetime deal with DAZN. Right, he signed a lifetime deal with DAZN. Some way they got to find the money to pay him. So he's going to say, bro, the only, you know Eddie Earn or the rest of the man in DAZN, look, the only way you're going to get this money, Sunshine, is you carry on winning and you go back and you start winning titles. That's the only way. So he's thinking, right, okay, well, I'm going to do it because people don't believe that I could do it. And one thing I give Anthony Joshua, even at his peril, if people say that he can't do something, he does his damnedest to try and prove that otherwise. Just like when people say in the first fight against Usyk that you cannot box with this guy. And he said, all right, watch, I'm gonna try box with you. I'm gonna outbox him. Which is a silly thing to do. Somebody should have dragged him to one side and said, listen, we got our game plan and we're gonna stick to that. It didn't happen, and he came second best in that. He came second best in the second fight, which left him kind of bemused because he thought, right, I've done everything. I've turned over every stone and I didn't get the result that I wanted to get. So he's had to go back and he's trying to recalibrate. Now him trying to recalibrate has led him to Derek James and being in that camp where them guys are screaming out lines. Big up Fire Links, my brother. Big up, big up, big up. Thanks for joining the show. Blessings to you as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, listen, me personally, Anton again, he says, AJ told me if he could go back in time when he turned pro, his advice to himself would have been to go to the US sooner. Now, again, thank you for that that comment, Anton. I was having a little talk with a very close friend of mine yesterday, and we wasn't talking about AJ, but we was just talking about life in general and how sometimes there actually isn't a problem. And sometimes when things happen in life that don't go our way, we start looking for problems. We start saying this was wrong. I should, or maybe in a fight example, I should have jabbed more. I should have done this more. I should have done that more. And based on that, you just change your whole course of destination. The whole route you had already planned, you change it. When there wasn't nothing wrong. It was just you got beaten by the better person on that night. Maybe they were doing this longer than you. You have to just continue the journey. And I feel for a lot of fighters, I'm not saying this AJ comes in this category, but I'm saying that if you don't put the blame solely and squarely on yourself, you're always gonna say, I should have done this, I should have done that. It was his fault, it was their fault. Could it be if Ant just stayed with McCracken and just worked on the points or the faults that he needed to work on, or if there were any, maybe he wouldn't need to go to America. He wouldn't need to go to America. Because, and I tell you this, Carl Froch bust up Americans when he went to America.
Viciously.
Joe Calzaghe bust up Americans when he went to America. Even Nigel Benn bust up Doug DeWitt in America. So, again,
April of 1990, that fight was done.
The knowledge. But all I'm saying is that one has to look at himself. Amir Khan was brucking up Americans when he went to America. Again, thank you, John Khan. So I'm like, every man writes his own destiny. So let me just highlight
but Amir
that.
Khan was being trained by Freddie Roach when he busted up Americans in America.
Say that again?
Amir Khan was being trained by Freddie Roach when he busted up Americans in America.
Okay. All right, fair point. But I've already explained that, British fighters have done that. But okay, Carlos is interrupting the chain of thought. He said, "Hi, gents. Question: do you believe when it's all said and done, will AJ be known as a what if boxer, or is he too accomplished for that? Or is he too accomplished for that?" Thanks, Carlos. We're gonna touch on that, but let me I don't want to lose the chain of thought. I was saying, sometimes that we just have to look at the situation. There may not be Arsene Wenger said it years ago. Arsene Wenger's like, oh, don't change your plan, just evolve it. Maybe, and I rate Anthony Joshua because he's ticking all boxes in terms of trying. I just would say to the young brother, have you looked at yourself? Have you looked at yourself solely in the eye and said, is it me? What can I do for? Because ultimately, it's you. It's you. So whatever decision you make, it's you. So I'm just throwing out another thing for him because
maybe also could be the fact that he's seeing the success and the change in style of Tyson Fury getting an American trainer. Maybe he has because simply he sits down with his punches more. That's all.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Is that could that be more to do with age?
It could, but the thing about it is this: if you know anything about the Kronk style historically, the Kronk style was always to bang out, man. Yeah, we'll box you and all the rest of it. We're looking to knock you out, and I think that's been adopted more so since when you look at Sugar Hill. You know what I mean? That
so again, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not coming with no. I see a man say Tunde's energy is mad. No, brother, you just don't know me. Like I'm a very, I just like to.
No, he's not mad at all. He's Tunde's just mad, but
I just like to tick all the boxes and ask questions because I feel if you ask questions, which is what I'm doing, you might learn something. Spence said you never learn something from someone who hasn't disagreed with you. But what's my point now? You guys maybe made me miss my point. Yeah, I said about ultimately it's going to be everything AJ does is all going to boil back down to him, or the finger's going to point at him. So I personally think Derek is a good fit for AJ. I personally think that, but I just don't subscribe to the fact that he's going to go back to this old person. You don't change, bro. You don't change. You don't change. You just stay to study life. You ain't changing. You can just evolve yourself, or you just stay the same. So he cannot go back to that hungry man that never had no money. He says he's quoted it in a press conference that there was a time when I never had no money. You ain't gonna go back to that because the view outside your window has changed. You ain't in Watford in no council estate or wherever. You're like, your bruv, your whole family is sitting different because of your focus and your hard work and your dedication and your sacrifice to the sport of boxing. You change the reality of your family. Now, you cannot go back to that same hunger. You can't. You could just keep on evolving yourself. And that's what I feel is for ages.
Oh, sorry, champ. Derek James on the fight is right. Quick one.
Derek.
Well done. We'll call you later, Derek. Take care. God bless, bro. Do your thing.
Why? What happened, bro?
He's at his daughter's volleyball competition.
Okay. Big up D anyway. So as I said, Derek. I did say Derek is a right, but I just feel that you can't go back. You can't go back. You just can't go back, and you certainly, in my opinion, you can't go back when so much glory has been blessed for you. Bro, God has blessed this young man
on another level
in ways that 99.9% of us are never gonna experience. So why would you go back? I don't get that. I just don't get that, Spence.
You know what? I think there is nobody in British boxing over the last decade, that we have been so much under the microscope than this guy, Anthony Joshua. And I think he has carried the weight on his shoulders for a long time, right? And also I think it's been a thing with him where it's like maybe he's sitting down saying, well, who can I trust? You know what I mean?
Again, all that, all that, Spence, all that comes from the experiences that he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this for so long. I'm like, bro, nobody knows what it's like to be Anthony Joshua.
Trust me.
We can't, and this is what I'm saying, bro. When are you gonna give this youth respect? I'm like, bro, this brother has literally carried British boxing, certainly, on his shoulders since 2012. So I'm like,
Well,
you're gonna give him respect. That means that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't feed onto these comments. I don't watch what these brothers are saying. I'm looking at it squarely in the face, and I'm saying you have a young man who has achieved miraculous things, and yet, despite all of that, man still got smack to talk about the youth. Man's judging. It don't make no sense, bro.
It does. It makes sense to me, right? Because people are just bad mind, straight. Because it's like, oh, well, he didn't do it the authentic way. He didn't.
See, Marks, you see, you carry on talking the way you're talking. I've been reading your comments, and I don't like the energy you're coming with. You're chatting nonsense.
Tunde, don't take the mad point offensively.
See me, yeah, I'll block your ass. I don't business. I don't like it. You're talking about energy, but I don't like what I'm reading from you.
No, Tunde.
If you are a true listener of The Fight Is Right, one of the reasons why so many people tune in, because me and Spence always go back and forth in what we're saying. That's just us. So it's like you're not clocking while gone. And if I see one more nonsense from you, you're gone. I'm just telling you. So watch it.
Hey, what? Put up two bless, Tunde. Put up two blesses comment.
Two bless. Let me see two bless. Yeah, you understand, bro. You can't fool me, because I keep telling you, I don't operate from what comes out of man's mouth. I operate from energy, what I'm feeling from about, and I can feel it through the computer screen. So I don't like what I'm feeling from.
Nah, Tunde, I'm asking. Give Mark the benefit of the doubt. What do you want to do is hear me.
Yeah. I told you about being on your last warning, bro.
Right. That's cool.
Anyway, pick up Capo. Come on. Anyway, carry on, Spence. Sorry.
No, I'm saying a lot of it's coming from bad mind. That's where it's coming from.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
A lot of it's coming from bad mind, and I think if we go back to like when he beat Klitschko, when he beat Klitschko, it was like, remember when like he goes, the amount of people who are out here wishing me well is like, I reckon like half the people in here.
Big up Capo Boxing.
Yeah, Capo. Let me just read that. His purpose was to bring boxing back
to the forefront.
Yeah, back to the forefront of our country, and he did that. A big responsibility as well, and it was Alexander Wilson. Alexander Wilson got dough tonight. He's just popping in the thing straight.
A young man. Hey, remember, Capo's a youth, Capo's a youth. But this is what I try to tell people on Talk Time with Tunde. Many of the answers to the questions that we're answering will come from the youths. Anyway, big up Alexander Wilson. Thank you for the $10. I remember Barry Robinson, who recently gave Tunde love on Instagram, said he didn't like AJ's training in 2018. He said he would do exercises that in his mind don't help you win fights. Okay, interesting.
And I rate Barry Robinson, a good guy as well. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Million Stars Boxing. Otai Nidra Gupta. Actually, Barry was one of the first people from America to really put light on me. So big up, Barry.
Good people, man.
Nidra Gupta, thank you for the $8.99. He said, come on, AJ leeches for all these years, loses a fight, and it's crickets. Stay active, they say. Then he does 3 fights in 3 years. Friends always change. Enemies stay the same. AJ has learned a life lesson.
And then Tunde's gonna say interesting.
Interesting. That's what I don't just things don't just fly out my mouth. I have to think about it first before I come back with my answer. If I come back straight away, that means the answer's already in my head. But I have to think about that one. I'm gonna read that again. Mr. Gupta. He said, come on, AJ leeches for all these years, stop right there. I don't know what you mean by he leeches.
No, he had leeches.
Oh, come AJ. And let me apologize to Leah O. I read out a comment wrong. I got brush offline. Because my brain's like that. Sometimes I just miss certain words. But anyway, come on. AJ had leeches for all these years. Loses a fight and it's crickets. Stay active, they say. Then he does 3 fights in 3 years. Friends always change. Enemies stay the same. AJ has learned a life lesson. Spencer talking facts. His whole team seemed frustrated with the lack of respect he is getting from TalkSport. Again, we've been saying this from day dot, especially about his legacy and the impact he has had on the sport. Sorry, I learned from what you said there, Anton. But again, this you has actually got a legacy already.
Bro.
And I guess that's why, to me, it's not even complicated. The reason why this heavy cross has been bestowed on you, Anthony Joshua, is because you're built for it, fam. If God can't give the thing, sorry for those who don't believe in God, maybe you believe in the universe, or maybe you just believe in abracadabra, but this kind of heavy weight cannot go to someone who can't bear it. His whole life is in the spotlight. His whole life is in the spotlight. The guy can't do nothing. I haven't even, as AJ got a girl, I haven't even seen, he may have a girl, but I haven't even seen him like, that's my girl. That might be just because he has a girl, but it's private. But I know he's got a child, so obviously something's going on somewhere along the line. But again, even like a simple relationship would be on the spotlight. That's heavy, bro.
You know what? TalkSport are really going in on Anthony Joshua, you know? And I'm trying to look on like, what's the agenda behind it? You know what I mean? But they are going in on it. And you know what? On certain things, like Simon Jordan has valid points on certain things, but they are properly going in on Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And
sorry, Spence, go.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just believe, like, sometimes they should just chill out because I have to respect the fact of what that young man has done and what he's accomplished, right?
Yes.
You got to put proper respect on it because we know that you rejuvenated British boxing, and it was Maya Marshall saying right now, abracadabra.
Yeah. Abracadabra.
Doing some voodoo. All right, David G. Thank you very much for the £10.
Where's this? Put up the comment, please, Gary, if you're still with us.
Yep, the losses have definitely affected his pride and ego. When I hear him talk now, all I can hear is when White said, be yourself. Stop being this fake person. It feels like the real Joshua is coming out.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Again, I disagree. When man's saying, hold on, I've said it for years. There's a public persona and there's a private persona. You can't 100 unless it's your own platform and everything. Because when you're in that public eye, so to speak, there's children watching.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just start cussing bad word on TV and bro, like I'm on the ends. You can't do that. So how can he be himself? Because he's got other people that he has to look out at. He's got to be mindful.
One second, Tunde. I'll punch you in your fucking face.
He's got to be mindful. And again, I keep saying, Anton knows what I'm talking about. When he had that outburst in Saudi, that was him for that split second saying, "Cha, I don't business about all these commercial things and everybody." You see what I'm saying? Now, imagine he was like that all the time. Would AJ receive all the endorsements, all everything that comes with the Anthony Joshua brand? If he was totally being himself, he just couldn't do that. Now, to be fair, Tunde, Tyson Fury manages to cuss and appears to be himself in a lot of interviews. No, again, that's a great point. I don't know. I hear him say effing and blinding a lot of the times and this, that. But is that who he really is? Because to me, he seems like a loving father, a caring father, a caring parent, and what have you. I don't know. It's one of them questions that really only the person can answer if they're being real or being.
Well,
AJ,
I can answer that. Yeah.
yes,
AJ is not allowed to be that effing and blinding person.
that's what I believe. Oh, otherwise, you wouldn't get them sponsorships. You wouldn't get them endorsements.
Exactly. Oh, he's just stereotypical. Oh, he's like, come on.
Unless you're prepared to do it your own way, be like a Floyd Mayweather who never had no endorsements his whole career. Unless you're prepared to do that, then you could say F to do this, F for that, F for that. I think even Floyd, to a large degree, is conscious of and aware of the fact that he's got children at home, and it's all about setting it's all about setting an example for your child and for other children to follow. So, a lot of good points here this evening. Very, very good points. Leah O, I done apologize already, but let me just read the comment. Leah says, curious about this whole keeping it real rhetoric. Come on, I nearly smashed my table. Is he not just being professional? It's what I'm trying to say. Leah, you're trying to get the shorts again. You know, like I cut your thing on Tunde Talks. You're trying to do the shorts on The Fight Is Right. I know your game. Don't we all code switch for work? Again, that's 3 slaps, and we ain't even finished the whole comment. Who brings their raw, wild self to work? We are professionals, versions of ourselves.
Let me tell you this. You have to realize.
Leah O, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Leah, you hit the nail on the head. Because when people go into work, right, they have to put on their professional work hat. They cannot be themselves, right? Anthony Joshua, all of this is still work for him. What we're seeing or what we're trying to be judged with is still work for him. So we don't know what Anthony Joshua is like behind closed doors.
Wait there. Before put up that last comment. Carry on, Spence. Carry on.
So we don't know. We don't know what he's like. We don't know what he's like. I know I've got a personal relationship, me and him talk regular, but I don't know what he's like to other people. But what I am saying is, like, I believe how he has conducted himself over business and how he's conducted himself publicly, as far as I'm concerned, he's done the right thing.
Me too.
I mean, he's done the right thing because
he's a good ambassador for the sport.
Right, and it's a role model kind of thing. That's the kind of poster boy kind of thing that you'd want, especially from being from the backdrop of where he's coming from. You'd want somebody like that because you wouldn't want someone who's talking about their bun in a zoo and blah and you know what I mean and yeah, gunshotting and pop and all. No, I wouldn't want that stereotype. I think how Anthony Joshua has handled his business as being really, really well. He's handled his business, but I think he's looked at blueprints on certain things to say, well, then how am I going to conduct myself? Right? Up to now, Tunde, you can't find no scandals on Lennox list.
Yeah, although there was the street scandals, but again, street scandals are just they belong where they come from.
In the streets. You know what I mean? You couldn't find none. I remember like Evander Holyfield, they were saying, oh, why wasn't Evander Holyfield like a bigger name? And he said, what? Because I don't crash cars. You know what I mean? And you've never heard me beat on a woman. This is Evander Holyfield's words. Right? Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. It's like certain things will sell for public mystique and all the rest of it. And I think what AJ has done, AJ just found the cheat codes, how to work this thing. And he found it out and he said, right, I'm going to run with this. This is how I'm going to be. Right? Because you don't think there's times. Look when Jamel Miller, was it Jamel? Yeah, Big Baby Miller. He said something about, I'm going to take your mum out to eat or something. Right? Do you remember that? And then AJ went nuts. He went, look, like he came in late to a press conference and AJ said, shut your effing mouth. And that's only because he mentioned man's mum. But apart from that, AJ was like taking it and like, I know man in AJ's camp, he said, well, you don't think AJ just wanted to punch him up in his face? But he said, no, I can't do that because I've got endorsements. I've got kids watching me. I can't be doing that. So I give Andy Joshua all the credit in the world. But what I am saying right now, forget about endorsements and be yourself and look to brook up.
Yeah, why would you say forget about your endorsements, bro? This is a business. And the man who said I've never been to work, I said, bro, yeah, that's because you're the employee, you're not the employer. This is my thing, or our thing, should I say? I can say what I want. I would not go on ITV, BT, and those public platforms and start talking in a particular manner unless it's in jest, and I'm joking. So that's just it. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the $10. He said, I'll be honest, I disliked after the Usyk fight. Probably I dislike AJ after the Usyk fight. AJ saying I'm not a 12-round fighter, and him asking Usyk, how did you beat me? You're not bigger or stronger than me. I don't dislike is a strong word, Alexander. And again,
but I see where Alexander's coming from, because there were many people that disliked Anthony Joshua's antics after the fight, right? Many people.
Okay.
Right?
Is he not human though? Is he not allowed to show his emotions?
I'm just saying there are many people that disliked.
Of course, we know that. We know that, but we just give them.
Right. And I agree. Yes, he is human. So therefore, you being human, you're fallible, and if you're fallible, you're open to mistakes, right? So, but I'm not knocking that, because I'm saying you just lost in a world heavyweight championship fight, right?
Okay.
And the weight of expectation and burden of history that was on your shoulders there must be immense and nuts. Hence why he took the belts and threw them out, saying like the belts don't mean nothing, right? So I'm not knocking that, but there were many people who were upset by it. I remember Fraser Clark being in the Sky Studio saying, "Oh, I wish I was there. I would have given him a big hug to hold him to say, no, you got to stop," right? But I spoke to AJ about that. You know what I mean? And AJ's words were me, "Well, Fraser's a clown." You know what I mean? But it's because he was upset. So
I just think that it's easy to say it's easy to say what you would have done, but when you're in the moment, it could be a different thing. It could be a different thing. There's so many examples of people saying they would have done, or should have done, or could have done. When you're there, you don't do that, because it's that it. You know, it's an experience, and yeah, you really are just moving as it happens. So yeah, it's good we're sitting at home saying, I would have done this, I would have jumped in and done this, I would have held him back. No, you got an angry brother, 6 foot tall, with smoke coming out his nose and his ears. You might just hold your corner and just let him do what he's doing and just wait for the dust to settle. And yeah, that's how I say it. Carlos, thank you for the €5.99 euros. He says AJ will turn 34 in 6 to 7 months. Realistically speaking, what do you think is still possible for AJ to achieve in terms of world titles? Spencer?
anything's possible. You're a heavyweight and you're athletic and you can punch, and there are depending on how you can recalibrate yourself. And I think it's more mental than anything, right? I think it's more mental than anything in dealing with Anthony Joshua. I think he can come back and become a heavyweight champion of the world. I really do. Right? Because the two guys out there, well, there's some dangerous guys out there. Frank Sanchez is a dangerous guy. You know? Joe Joyce is a dangerous guy.
Frank who? Frank Sanchez.
The Cuban brother.
Okay, yeah. These guys can't touch the AJ, man.
Right.
I mean, yes, I say you man are giving these man airtime. Hey, these guys can't touch AJ.
Tunde.
These guys can't touch AJ. AJ, listen.
Joe is a dangerous man.
I'll be honest with you. If AJ didn't dare to be great, he'd probably be undefeated now. He'll still be undefeated. But this guy continuously took challenge or taken challenges. And we know how boxing is, Spencer. There's always going to be someone that the public, us as boxing fans are like, yeah, you know what, bruv, this guy might lick him out or anything like that. But the fact is that he's gone in the deep end and he's fought these guys. The normal public, the normal fans don't have no idea of how hard it is to make fights at times. They don't know what the businessmen are doing behind closed doors, which none of us ever get a chance to see. It's not easy like, oh yeah, just fight him, just fight him, just fight him. Although I do believe that there's a lot of fighters that they're not brave anymore. They're not brave. I believe that bravery has gone out of the modern day fighter. Because I'm like, let's fight. Moving on to our next point or our next subject. Big up Digital Me.
Thank you very much for the £5.
Wicked. Thank you for the £5. He said, wicked Sunday session, boys. TalkSport agenda is them aligning closer to Sky. They live off controversy and playing devil's advocate, some with the footy. That is a great point, Digital Me. Whereas, you know, with us, it's just, bruv, there's nothing weird, bruv. There's nothing in it. If TalkSport want to hire man, then you know where it is. If Sky want to hire man, you know where it is. If the zone, we're there. But always know that as long as I'm around, as long as Spencer's around, as long as Gary's around, we're trying to keep it always neutral and just talk like it's any one of us in the barber shop or the hair salon.
For real. David G, thank you very much for the £10. Wasn't trying to say Joshua was being fake. It was just the first time he was vulnerable and acted different to the public stroke. TalkSport want to hate on him. They, sorry, yeah, gone. Yeah, TalkSport just want to hate on him. Do they want him to be a modern day version of Frank Bruno?
You know what? Again, David G, fantastic comment.
Excellent.
Excellent comment. And again, I'm saying this young man is doing what he wants to do. And that's very admirable of anyone. You know, again, he's not afraid to take chances. And I know that might sound contradictory to what I was saying about looking at yourself in the square eye. But again, it's his story. Everybody writes their own story. Everybody writes their own story. And he is doing his thing. And bro, we just got to just watch. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going home today or whatever they're going home to. AJ's got to deal with everything that AJ does. All we are. And TalkSport, by the way, are doing their job. TalkSport are doing their job. Simon Jordan and Cole are there to play the devil's advocate. They're there to give people something to talk about and say, you know what that guy said is wrong or what he said is right, or that's just their job. So it's just the game. It's just the game how it goes. Kurt Campbell said, "Don't hold your hand on the table, Ton." Alexander Wilson have read his comment. I'm just. This is Gary's job. I'm just scrolling. There's a lot of comments here. Tony Lai said, AJ said you're not bigger, stronger, etc. because Usyk told AJ he was strong. So AJ was saying, but you ain't strong. But you beat me. He said you got skills. People for some odd reason have to took that comment. Something came up in there. Took that comment and left. Okay, so basically he was explaining why AJ said what he was saying. It was in retort to what Usyk was saying. And that's how dangerous things can be, because sometimes you just hear one side of the story. Well, you know, the fact is, I know a lot of this talk for AJ is just coming from pure and utter jealousy.
Yes.
Jealousy and hatred. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah,
it ain't coming from no other place. I'm just being real.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the $5. You're properly supporting. Bare love to you, Mr. Wilson. I pray that you have a fantastic week ahead. Who took more risk, Fury or AJ? Fury was a betting underdog to Klitschko in the first two Wilder fights, and those were away fights for him. Very, very good question.
I mean, again, I'm not here to side one or the other. But I mean, when you look at it, I feel that Tyson Fury's gambles were a lot more. What's the word? I think they stand out more than the gambles that Anthony Joshua said. Having said that, again, we cannot get over the fact the limited experience Anthony Joshua has had.
Okay. May I just say this, Ton, please? And please forgive me for interrupting. Anthony Joshua, bar the second Usyk fight, was the only time Anthony Joshua in his whole professional career has gone into a fight as an underdog. That's the only time. So
repeat that again, Spencer.
The second Usyk fight was the only time Anthony Joshua ever entered a fight as a betting underdog. Right throughout his whole career.
Yes. When was the other time?
Huh?
When was the other time?
That was the only time.
That was the only time.
That's the only time. So Dylan Wyatt fight. I'm talking his major fights. Dylan Wyatt fight, betting underdog, betting favorite. Sorry, you know what I mean? Charles Mine, betting favorite. What's his name? Was
Klitschko? Was he a betting favorite for Klitschko?
Betting favorite for Klitschko as well, right?
Okay.
Well, every fight that he has been in, he's been the betting favorite, bar the second Usyk fight. Where people say like, right, we don't believe.
Whereas Tyson Fury for Klitschko.
Yeah, it was a betting underdog for Wilder as well, right? Second Wilder fight, he was betting favorite.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Third fight, he was betting favorite, but the first fight, he was a massive underdog. Simply, and I remember calling that fight, saying that Tyson Fury was going to win that fight, but he was a betting underdog. And
would he be a betting underdog against Usyk? No,
it'd be the favorite for that fight.
Okay.
But I was speaking to a man yesterday while I was at the boxing yesterday, the Sky Boxing with Adam Aziz. I was speaking to some guy and he come up to me and said, Spence, I watched the fight, it's right. His guy's name's Adam. So Adam, if you're watching right now, big up. And he was saying to me, he said to me, who have you got for Fury Usyk? Because I really respect your opinion. And I said, I think that Tyson Fury is going to be a bit too big. Sit down with him, bully him. And I think the size, and not only that, but Tyson Fury is very skilled. Usyk is very skilled. But I think because of that, I'm going to go for Tyson Fury. And he goes, Spence, nah, you're completely wrong. And I don't like disagreeing with you, but you're completely wrong. I think Usyk's going to outskill him. And it made me sit down and think that Usyk is one smart rookie.
Your little Wi-Fi is rearing his head again. God, carry on, Spence. Sorry.
Did he come back? Is he blinking?
Yeah, you're back, man. You're not frozen.
Yeah. So it just made me think. But I believe because there was talk. You know what? We should have phoned George or Francis Warren, because the talk is that the fight between Usyk and Fury, that Usyk and Fury is going to be the 28th of April. That's the talk. That's what they're trying to get for. You know what I mean?
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that's what 28th or 29th. Yeah, that's the talk. So, yeah.
That would be brilliant. I mean, there's so many. Big up Bobby Wright. Thank you. Part one of my comment, Simon Jordan talks nonsense when it comes to AJ. He's not talking from any experience when it comes to boxing. And you know what, Bobby? That is what is so brilliant about this brother. Because, that's what's so brilliant about this gentleman, is that he's managed to very quickly make his opinion count. Like, people listen to him. You know, and maybe that's based on the football and the mere fact that he was one of the youngest, I think, multi-millionaires at the time, an entrepreneur, great man, such an intelligent man. I've listened to him give university talks and stuff before he really got into this boxing thing, even though he's probably been a lifelong fan of boxing before me. But he's a very intelligent man. And intellect really gives you the ability to jump into anything and grasp it quicker than people that say they've been watching this thing for a long time. Because you can see things from that higher level. So yeah, so Simon Jordan's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man, and people are listening to him. We're talking about him here on The Fight Is Right. But yeah, he doesn't seem to have anything good to say about AJ, from what I have heard. Two blesses 5-1 Fury was in Germany. We called it 12 rounds and we had it large. Big up Fury again. Bobby Wright, yeah, we put that out. Part 2, my comment. That's why I learn and listen to Tunde and Spencer. Big up, Bobby Wright. Bro, I love you, Bobby. You know what it is, bro. But that's my guy. Big up Harry Barker. Thank you for the $8.99, sir. Not even a comment, not even a message. It's just love. And
Lee Bailey, Frank Warren said,
hopefully that'll pay for an upgrade of
my Wi-Fi.
Little Wi-Fi.
This is damn kids in disaster, I'm telling
you. Steve Bailey says Frank Warren had said the fight with Usyk and Fury would be 29th of April. As the fight has still not been confirmed and reports are now saying it will be at Wembley, will it still happen on that date? Spencer, I need to charge this.
Okay. Fingers crossed that it does. I know that there are certain people behind the scenes right now who are trying to raise the money for the fight to come over to the UK. I've got that from very, very trusted sources.
Almost.
I believe
the Saudi thing then.
I believe that. You know what? We should have rang Derek Chisora, you know. But I know he's going to be. We should rang Derek to find out the gossips, because I think Saudi. I think the money that they wanted was 140 million, and I think Saudi have declined from that. But I know quite a few people are dealing with it, who are dealing with Saudi Arabia right now, for me to have got the scoop on it. And maybe in the week we could get something.
The Saudi man are saying, yeah, you man are taking liberties now because you think we got oil in this thing here. That you could come drain out the money like it's with no remorse. Bro, they're saying, nah. You're taking this Saudi Arabia oil for a joke.
Yeah, Saudi's on
it. Christopher Andy said, all right, you know what? I'm going to put my hands up. I've got to be, and I shouldn't say it because words are powerful, but I'm so clumsy.
Stop. You don't say it. You're not clumsy at all.
No, I'm saying it. I don't care. This is what I'm saying. Because I don't care. I'm not. Listen, no one needs to tell me about how powerful words are, but I'm just keeping it real. This one, I don't know what it is. I just do silly things. But anyway, Alexander Wilson, thank you for the $5. He said there was some betting sites that had Wilder as favorite in the second Fury fight. I like Simon Jordan. He's not afraid to criticize people. My point exactly. One of the reasons why I like him, because it gives a discussion. It gives a platform for hate, or not for hate. It gives a platform for us to say yay or nay, and I think that's good in some respects. But you got to you got to balance it. You got to give a man a little bit of respect, considering what Anthony Joshua has done for boxing and for himself and for his family and for a lot of people. A lot of people are tuning into boxing because of Anthony Joshua.
1,000,000% they are.
Yeah. Kurt Campbell, Derek too busy promoting Jake Paul. Yeah, I see Derek in the long thing, the long dress thing.
It's called a phone. Yeah.
With a big chain on. Look like I think you borrowed your chain.
Derek. Yo. We're just doing the show right now. And I want to say to you, congratulations on your new role as being an ambassador for the Saudi Arabian boxing.
No, I'm just promoting it, bro. I just go. Just hope. No, that is on the phone.
Hello.
Go away. Yeah, man. I'm just having fun, bro. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, Derek. Derek, even though you're having fun, it seems like you, because we see you. Tunde was saying he saw you in the Frobe, sat there, doing your work with your Kettle Brothers baseball cap on and that big gold chain with the diamonds on it. The thing looks shiny, Derek. Can you lend it to me, please?
Bro, you can have anything I have, bro. You can have my car if you want.
You see, that's why I love you, my friend. Derek, I think like you've done seriously. I think you've done really, really well. You're always a man who seeks opportunities, and what was it? Mr. Bernard Shaw said the people that make it in this world that look for opportunities, if they don't find them, they create them. And I think you are a great creator of those things. So I've got to give you a massive props for that. So what's happening for this? There's talk about this Jake Paul and Tyson Fury, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight, right? So you got that fight, and you've also got Badu Jack challenging Makabu for the WBC Cruiserweight crown. So what's the excitement between those fights, Derek? Tell us.
Listen, the name of the game is entertainment. A couple of weeks before I left anyway, I went to the fight in Wembley.
Mm-hmm.
The young lion. Yeah, lion is in the camp, yeah. And I was upset because that fight would have sold O2 Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And they put in Wembley. They didn't understand the entertainment. They didn't understand how Anthony Yarn was going to sell out the Wembley Arena. If that profile was put on in the O2 Arena, it would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say, entertainment is the name of the game. Yes, really. Go open the door yourself. Go away. Yeah. And it's entertainment. That's what we need to do on this earth. Entertain those guys who work hard every day. Rappers singing, fighting, running, UFC. It's all about entertainment. And people don't get it yet. People don't want to wake up and hear bad stories. They want to talk about athletes running and stuff like this. Entertainment. So I want to entertain. If I'm entertaining by promoting, entertaining by fighting, I just want to bring that enjoyment to people's lives.
Mm-hmm. So,
and the opportunity I got, bro, it's not because I got it myself. I'm a God-fearing man, I pray a lot. I always ask for guidance,
Well, Derek, I think it's a wonderful opportunity that you've got right now. And so, what more things are we going to be seeing? I know we've got the big Jake Paul Fury fight, and we've also got Badu Jack fighting Makabu for the World WBC Cruiserweight Championship. That's going to be a hell of a fight. You do realize that, right?
I'll be honest.
Oh, I think we're losing you there, Derek. I think we just lost Derek. I'm going to try him back.
I'm just reading these comments when Derek's talking. But Derek suffice to say, Derek has done well for himself.
He's done excellent.
Got himself a good role. I hear what he's saying about entertainment. I was going to let him finish before I fire some questions. But I feel he's doing it. He's selling the job. He's making himself relevant. And I think 2 weeks away from that particular fight?
Yep, 2 weeks away from it.
And I think Derek has really been the forefront of the fight.
Yeah.
He's done more promoting than Tommy Fury.
Listen, man, Tommy Fury hasn't really been about, has he?
Nah.
So it leads to people thinking that, Tommy Fury's going to pull out. But I don't believe so. I believe that Tommy Fury's going to take the fight and Tommy Fury's going to be in the fight. He's going to fight.
And let me tell you something about a little story about Derek. Why Derek is where he is today is because I remember one time I was in the gym with Derek and Don, and Derek was talking to another fighter. It may have been Sam Sex or somebody. And Derek was like, "Bro, why don't you just call out this man?" And the guy goes, "I can't call him out." Derek said, "Bro, just call the man out." So to hear him say it's about the entertainment factor of the sport and go and see, because I had the privilege to be around them, And it just shows you that if you believe in something, if you believe in it, you got to believe in something, it will happen. And I do know that a lot of people are probably upset that it's Derek that got the role of the ambassador for Saudi Arabia as opposed to them, but he actually believes anything is possible, and you got to go. So big up there, Chisora. Always him and Don. You know, I got time for them.
Let me tell you this now, Tunde. Tunde, the day after the fight, where he comes in second best against Tyson Fury, right? Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia is in Derek Chisora's house with his children. So, right. So, like, I just sent Derek a text like, "Hold up your head, you've done yourself proud," all the rest of it. And he sends me back a picture with the Prince with his children, saying, "Look, I'm good, Spence, and I've got something coming up." So then after the fight, Derek says, "Look, I'm going out to Saudi. Do you want to come?" I said, "Nah," because it was like school time and all the rest of the children. I couldn't go. I said, "Nah." But he goes, "Anytime you want to come, just come." You know what I mean? I've got things patterned at it. And so says, so done. Derek has done fantastically well. All right. And to see him up on that stage as well, he's just going to continue doing what he's doing. I like that, man.
It's just great. It's just good. To me, it just shows that.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Let's just say dream it, believe it, become it. It's serious.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's real. You actually, but belief is really the foundation. And then hard work. Hard work might come before the belief, to be honest with you, because you grow up and then you say, "Wow, this thing's actually working." So, big up there, Chisora. Let's touch on. I mean, we're just talking and the time is just flying, but let's talk about these imaginary fights that seem to be. No, okay, that's what they are, bro. They're just imagine. Why am I saying bro? I've gone from bruv to bro. This is what I'm saying. It's you know, you're a bad influence. Every time I
Don't try to blame me, bro. Don't try to blame me, bro.
But I'm just these imaginary fights that we're not getting, which is further shining light on YouTube boxing.
For real.
Because now again we're hearing, just like the Spence Crawford, and let me just say, I'm not blaming any of the fighters. Tank v Garcia is in jeopardy. It's in jeopardy. So again, another build-up. It's like you just give a man a carrot, and just as he's about to yam the carrot, he just draw the thing away from him.
So, can you explain to our non-Caribbean African viewers about nyam? What the hell is that?
Nyam. Eat. Consume. Is that better for you?
Yeah, it's a lot better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's like you're teasing us too much now. When you're maybe your loved one or a friend or start tickling you, and you're like, nah, allow that now. You're tickling too much now. It's not even a joke. At first, the first tickle, you're like, then the second or third, you're like, get out of my way, man. You're messing about now. I'm not even. That's what it's coming like. These fights, it's like I'm getting fed up of it. Like I want to see these fights, and this is what I'm trying to say about fighters like AJ, fighters like Fury, or fighters like Anthony Yard. Like these guys ain't afraid. These are like they're cut from the old school cloth, where it's a challenge and you challenge yourself. And I'm like, why are these guys not fighting? I know you have to blame certain businessmen to some degree, and then obviously as a fighter, it's called prize fighting. Let's get that right. They're fighting for a prize. They're fighting for a reward. They're fighting for, and sometimes the risk doesn't equate to a reward. So we can't always blame. But I'm like, it's getting too much now because we're missing out. Do we want another Kell Brook Amir Khan end of the career fight? Do we want another Pacquiao Floyd end of the career fight? We want to see these fights, but again, we just live in a different era, and I guess to expect anything other than what's happening now is really asking too much because, as I said, with regards to you can't go back. Once the thing's set in, you can't go back. Again, someone's put Yard Buatsi, but I'm like, again, that's a fight that will happen. But what is it? Like, are we going to be the only British guys that challenge themselves? fight. You take some gambles. You take some gambles. That's how I see it. That bigs up the fight more. Man sitting down waiting for the Anthony Yard paycheck. No, brother. Take some gambles. Take some gambles. Have a fight. Build the fight. You know, win a world title. Anything can happen.
Well,
you know, from I see, to be honest with you, the only man that I can see that's really gone in there and tried, you know, when they definitely were supposed to win, was Craig Richards.
Yep, very brave move by Craig.
Craig Richards, obviously, Craig's my guy. Like, you know, these are more like family members. Like, I'm like, you know, he took the fight. Remember, Bivol didn't need to fight Craig Richards.
Sure didn't.
But then again, you see, Christopher Anthony, you see, I spoke before you put the thing. But Craig said, you know what? I'm fighting him. And that's what I love. You know, so big up Craig, always bigging up the Spider and the whole family. So big up. But yeah, we need to see these fights, Spence. We need Denzel Bentley again. Big up Denzel. Wasn't afraid to, you know,
go in the Lions Den.
Put himself on the line. Huh?
To go in the Lions Den. I'll give him more.
Yeah, to go in the Lions Den and test himself against. So Dan is moving up in his own pace. You know, Dan, I'm quite sure Dan should be knocking on a world title this year. I believe so. You know, if you clean up the European.
Well, I think he's going to be fighting for the European title next, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fighting for the European title.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And please God that he comes out successful. Dan's a good kid. You know, very, very good kid.
Yes.
And yeah, and I like his fighting style as well. And the reason I like his fighting style, he finds a way to win. He finds a way to win in the fights. And he's a very, very determined kid. So yeah, I wish Dan all the best in his career. The thing is this, seeing as we're talking about Joshua Buatsi, Joshua Buatsi, they said Joshua Buatsi's team, I see on here, Joshua Buatsi's team has rejected Bivol fight, Tunde.
Again?
Well, Tunde, what's happened is this. Joshua Buatsi, he's very headstrong, and I've got to rate his stance because he's no longer with 258 management. Right, he's no longer with them. He's no longer with Eddie Hearn either. Nope, he's not with Eddie Hearn neither. He's the free agent, and what he has done, he has said, this is what I spoke to him last week. He said, listen, Spence, I've got the figure in my head what I want. He's in talks right now with Frank Warren. He's in talks right now with Boxer and Ben Shalom. He's in talks with these guys. He said, I've got the figure in my head what I want. I put down, and I'm open to negotiation. Everyone had made offers, but he says he's looking for longevity. He's had a good offer from Frank Warren, and he's had a good offer from Boxer, and he's sitting down just waiting patiently to weigh up and evaluate what he's got to go and do. But one thing I do rate, he's very headstrong. He's saying, listen, all these guys who are getting paid X amount of money and they're paying money's going left, right, and centre to other people. Once you start to understand the business, you say, well, I want to take more control of the business. So I respect him for that, for the simple fact where he's like, no one's not going to kind of buoy me off to do this, this, and this. He says, listen, I know my worth. And I respect the fact that he does know his worth. But I'm also saying, where his mind is, he's saying, like, I'll just wait it out. I don't mind. I'll wait it out.
Wait out for what, Spence?
Huh?
Wait out for what?
Wait out for him to get the lucrative offer. That's what he's waiting for.
Okay.
Right.
So if there's an opportunity for him to fight for 3 belts, and
you can't turn that down. In my mind, you can't turn that down.
So this is what I'm trying to say. You need to man needs to test it anyway. It's not my career. It's not my career. But what I'm trying to say is that when is the right time?
Well,
if someone's an Olympian, been a pro for all these years, a medalist Olympian, and then it's not a dig or anything, but I'm like, you're with the zone, and a lot of people don't understand the business. You can wait out for what you want. If you can't put 10 people from the cafeteria down the road in a stadium, you ain't getting that money. It's a business, isn't it? So you got to the books have to balance. That ain't headstrong. That's just African. That's just bro. That's our parents. That's just our parents. Just being tough in the head, bro. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight.
Yeah, but I don't think that Joshua Buatsy doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, but you're saying that, but you said you spoke to him. You
Yeah,
just told us that he said he's waiting for the right financial offer before he
because he also realizes that it is a business. So
it means that he wants to get in. Wait, Spence. No, this ain't complicated. You're watching what a next man's getting and believe that you should get it. That's what it means. But what I'm saying is that it could be JB, it could be Aziz, it could be Craig. Oh, these are all my guys. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that there has to come a point in your career when because it's not going to get easier. You're saying, all right, I don't want to challenge this guy because the money's not right. Okay, so you don't want to challenge this guy because the money's not right. Okay, so then who are you going to challenge? You reject Smith, you reject Bivol, you reject Kovalev, you reject all these guys.
Did you reject Kovalev?
Again, it's not my business.
Well, I didn't know that.
But what I'm trying to say is that regardless, what are you waiting for? It's like man's just waiting for us. It's like man's waiting for making your name on us. But we come from the dirt. We came from the dirt. You understand? So it's like I've always rated JB. I think he's a fantastic fighter. But you can't sit in a barber shop and say one man is better than another man when you ain't done nothing, bro. You ain't fought nobody. That's the way the proof is in the pudding. That's where the proof is in the pudding. And has made his name from 2 valiant efforts. Again, I was trying to get, again, I don't want to talk about a rival fighter because it looks like I'm just trying to downplay anyone. I'm not. I'm supporting all these young brothers trying to do what they're doing. But I'm just talking facts. Okay. I'm like, I'm saying, look at the experience gap between Anthony Yard and all these guys. But he's challenged them. So that's what you're rating. Yeah, I can say who has Jay is saying who has Yard beat, but who has Yard fought? See, you're only looking at one side of the coin. You're only looking at who is he fought. That is something you can't take away from a man. Who has he fought? Derek Chisora has not won, but who has he fought? He's fought them all. And that's what you can't buy. You can't buy that experience. You can't talk that experience. You can't. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care who don't like me from who don't like me. It's just the facts of the matter.
Thank you. I hear that, but Snapchat money is coming. Dr. Gary, thank you so much. Well done. Entertaining show and great comments. Thank you so much.
Too blessed. I saw that. I was cracking up. Me and was cracking up about that. They've got, on the WBO website. These men think they're smart. They've got Anthony fighting Okoli. Match coming up at heavyweight. Bro, nothing is done. Bro, everything is something to something. Something must be something, but it's funny. I was cracking up. Big up Halim Boston. Yeah. It's fight. This is a fight game. And again, so listen, you got the old guys who, they want the blood and guts and they want to see the real fights for the fans. And I get it. There's a lot of fighters that are looking at it from a more business standpoint. But I'll be honest with you. The only guys that have the right to think like that are guys that can sell out the place. Sell out the dance. Are you going to be big Stone Love dance, Stone Love sound system? Oh, and you're some little idiot sound system. Sorry, I'm going into the... Are you going to be some little joke sound system wanting the same money as Stone Love sound system? You ain't getting it, bro. Because you can't draw in the same capacity and the same crowd as Stone Love. It's just simple mathematics. It's just simple mathematics, Spence. So we shouldn't be defending fighters or talking about, oh, I'm waiting for the right offer. So no, what you're waiting for is the fight that suits you, that, yeah, you're going to fight. No, it don't go like that. Boxing does not go like that. As I said, if that's why you have to understand. I'm not upset with Anthony Joshua's choice of opponent. It's a good way for him to rebuild. It's not some people say it's not just a walkover fight, but I fully expect Anthony Joshua to finish that fight within 4 rounds. Yeah, if he's finishing that fight in 4 rounds, that's my personal opinion. And that's a way to rebuild him, give him some more rounds. Again, if he doesn't get the rounds, he gets the whole occasion of walking out into this arena with the fans. And, every time you do that, you build up. Every time you do that, you build up. Again, Anthony Joshua is going up against these guys who have had 200-300 amateur fights. What I do want to talk about is the show last night. I tried to contact the brother, Mr. Icewater himself, Ajayi Foster, the new 130-pound WBC champion, causing an upset from the previously unbeaten Mr. Ray Vargas. Boxed his ears off last night, Spencer, and he's the new WBC champ.
Is that the youth with the plaits, the dreads?
Yeah. Ajayi.
Yeah. Bro. Props that youth, man.
Big him up. I tried to contact him and said to come on the show, but obviously they're running on Dallas time, innit? So he's another Dallas native, and he's come up, I think he's been mandatory for like 3 years, and he waited his turn, and I don't think many people was expecting him to win last night, but he got the job done. He showed that he's got the boxing, and he's got the boxing ability, the concentration, everything to defeat a good champion. Ray Vargas is a good champion, and it's taken Ray Vargas' own.
Wait, sorry, Tunde, would you Sovereign Sound?
No, it ain't Sovereign. That's my people, though, man. Sovereign is
Brixton Diamond, Sovereign Sound.
Roger, big up Roger Diamond. Roger's doing these things as a music mogul now. He's trying everything.
Yeah, Roger, man, everything.
Roger, he's trying, and me and Roger have a lot of conversations, and he's always asking me, certain things, and I'm like, bro, just keep going, because it's life. Life, especially when you wanna, or when you're going for something, it's resistance. You're gonna get resistance, and the bigger the goal, the more the resistance. You just gotta stay tight. Yeah, of course I used to hold mic. Everyone knows I used to hold mic. That's why I can talk so much. But again, big up Ajayi Foster, put on a great card. Barrios was back with a win last night as well, Spence. Mario Barrios, up at waterweight. He fought Jovan Santiago. Stopped him.
He stopped him, innit? Yeah.
Again, this shows how serious Tank is,
Listen, Tank, you see when Tank looking for the right hook, Barrios skid across the floor,
the lead right hook that he gave Barrios was something to behold. But it shows you Tank probably is more suited up at 140.
Yep. You know what? Some guys is on here just saying, yep, conveying ideas. Big up Tyler Denny. Tyler Denny had some bad boy fight yesterday with Paul. That was a fight of the night on Sky, as far as I was concerned. And yeah, Tyler's blessed our show before. It's a bit too late now for me to phone him. But yeah, I have to big him up, because that guy is just blood, sweat, and tears how he fights. I respect the guy, because he had a couple losses early on in his career, but he just kept on going, and I respect that. And boy, he knows how to gauge things, and he throws hard shots. He took the fight away from Paul, and yeah, great fight, man. So big him up.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting a little bit more push from Paul. I thought he stayed on the back foot, which just really just played into Tyler's hands because
He felt the power. Tyler clapped him with a right hook early on, and he felt that from his southpaw. He clapped him with a shot, and he kind of felt it. And since then he was kind of like backing off and not really wanting to.
Yeah, he wasn't assertive.
Yeah,
and I know. Was it Terry? I know Terry would have been telling him, "Bruv, you need to fight. You need to go in there and be more assertive." And he just didn't. But listen, big occasion for Paul, for Brad, and listen, he'll come again. He wasn't hurt in the fight from what I can see.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone always says that, but when you're getting clapped with 8 or 10 ounce gloves, believe me, it's some hurt. You're coming out the fight with some hurt. So, but we can regroup. We can come again. And he can have a second goal. So, congratulations to Tyler Denny for retaining his English middleweight title last night. Big up, Tyler. Mr. Zwain, Ikramuddin Zwain, 140 ZAR in the bank. Snapchat. Good evening, gentlemen. This is my favorite channel. Nothing but great conversation, respect, knowledge, and humor. Man, them be so funny. Keep up the good work. I just come in too great. I'll be off. See you both. And thank you for the 140 ZAR. I know you always give us the calculations in the pound, but it don't matter. Any contribution is so respected. Thank you, bro.
And greatly received.
Yes. Where are we? So let's go into the UK show. Adam Azim. I mean, we just touched on Tyler Denny, but we just touched on Adam Azim was topping the bill against a very, very. And I want to hear what you have to say, but I want to hear what you have to say about what you feel the overall assessment of Adam Azim last night.
I think Adam Azim is very good, but I think because boxer haven't got no noted stars at this present moment, they're trying too hard to push this young man too quickly. And because they are, I think it's weighted pressure on his shoulders. And I know because Tunde used to train him, and Tunde always used to speak highly of him and still speaks highly of him now. Like, the kid hasn't done nothing but box. But in the same thing, every shot that he throws is hard. There ain't no feeling and touching in shots. And I'm going to be real with you. I didn't stay for his fight. I didn't stay for I mean? Because I said, listen, I was parked. When you go down to Wembley, I found some little bandooly spot as well to park. So I parked there.
The people don't know what that means, Spence.
Well, you know.
What that means.
So I said, I'm bouncing. You know what I mean? And I did. And I left. And I listened to the fight from my Sky Go in my car till I got home. And I was very, very surprised that fight went 10 rounds because Tunde, when I watched the weigh-in and I saw the brother coming, I watched the weigh-in live on the YouTube for Sky. And when I saw the guy come in, the guy walked in to those skills. I thought the guy was a trainer because the man looked older than my dad. It was an old man. So I think because they're rushing him so much and I'm just going to be real, because boxer ain't got that plethora of named guys. They're building guys. But I think it's a lot of weight because what was that Adam's 7th fight yesterday?
That's 8th fight.
It was 8th fight. The 8th fight yesterday, and you're top of the bill on Sky, right? You're not Olympic gold medalist. Do you know what I mean? So I'm saying, where are the building fights for the young man? Where are the fights where they could do the same thing for the youth and just jam out York Hall? Why did they have to go to Wembley? I'm just looking at all these kind of things from that area. I'm saying, why would you want to? And also, it's like he needs to be taught, if he's not being taught already, to feel his way in. Not just every shot's a hard shot. Every shot's a hard shot. Because you found out every shot's a hard shot, and as an ex-fighter yourself, Tunde, and a very good trainer, when a man gets clapped with a hard shot and then he adjusts to the power, you're not going to have that desired effect on him anymore because he adjusts to your power. He adjusts to it. And that's what the guy did. He got floored. He got up. He said, okay, I see what I'm dealing with now. So I can tuck up. I can cover up. And when people say, oh, well, it's good that he did it 10 rounds, it's good that he's done 10 rounds. If he's come away from that now, knowing like these are the things that I have to improve on to secure victory. So there's certain things that I believe that he needs to improve on, but I do think he's very, very good. But I think they're pushing him too hard, and I think he's also he's got a little bit of an identity crisis because I think he wants to be Nassim Hamed in certain sense, but he wants to be Amir Khan in others. And I think he's got to find his style. This is just my honest opinion. I'm not being critical of the young man. I'm just making of my assessment of what I saw. But I do think he's very good. I think he's very, very good. I'd like to see him tuck down his chin though, because sometimes he's punching with his chin up in the air, and someone being sneaky could throw a left hook on him, and you could be in trouble. I don't know if you can take a shot or not. I don't know. But why should you want to take a shot? You know what I mean? But he's very good though, Tom.
Interesting points. Well,
right. And also Caroline Dubois, Tunde. I know that one was a stand-in, yeah? Who she fought yesterday.
So goes. Bro, I think you're rushing too much. Bro, we haven't even finished on Adam yet. But
right.
People got things to say.
I just throw it on there about Caroline. But Tunde, the woman, she never had proper relaxer in her ear. You know what was there?
Bro, she looked like she was in one of them hairdressers that Schubert Road, Beckham. Like they just drew her from Schubert Road, Beckham.
And Tunde, she still had the cape around there and 2 rollers in her hair.
Oh my goodness gracious! But listen, let's one thing. Dose the market, you know that, fam. Bro, we saw her in Hackney Market. We definitely saw her in Hackney Market. I said she come from the village. I love this show, man. This show is too funny. Anyway, but yeah, my assessment, honest assessment of Adam, because people know Adam, and everyone knows I just don't have no hatred in me. I just think that life is just for living. Again, I'm going on a philosophical tip, but everyone writes their own story. People do what they have to do, and sometimes you end up coming back where you started. But first, about the opponent, I think we got to give. People are not realizing that was good. That was a good opponent, you know, Spence.
It was.
That guy was very, very capable. You know, he knew what he was doing. From when I done my research on the guy, and probably the reasoning behind the matchmaking was he had one amateur fight, and he lost that.
Who did?
The opponent. He had one amateur fight, and he lost it. He's not a big puncher. You know, 12 fights, only 3 KOs. But I'm telling you, that guy wasn't a pushover. I've seen a lot worse. I was very impressed by his ability to read Adam's overhand right, which is the shot that everyone knows now. You know, he's Adam because Adam's so tall. You know, he's stepping back. He's walking people into these shots. The left uppercut. There was only like 3 or 4 shots, notable shots from Adam. And me, just as a trainer, I can see them. So it's the slip and the left hook to the body. Sometimes he throws a left hook, right hook to the body. But the overhand right and a lightning jab are the main shots. So I think, you know, what I do definitely agree with. First, the opponent was good. The opponent was good for Adam. He's only 20 years old, only 20 years young. I don't even say 20 years old. He's only 20 years young. I just, you know, I know his dad watches everything. So I 100% know his dad will be watching what I'm saying. And Adam Sr. And my advice is, you don't need to rush that boy. You don't need to rush that boy because this thing is levels. And you could be looking like Sugar Ray Leonard in the gym.
1,000,000%.
You could be, everything I'm saying out of love. You could be Sugar Ray Leonard. You could be knocking out heavyweights and going toe-to-toe with middleweights. One thing you don't need is a trainer boosting you up, telling the world that you're going to be this and that you're going to be that. That just adds more pressure. To a guy that's 25 in 30, Yeah, maybe because he's mature. You know, the frontal lobe don't develop to the age of 25 years old anyway. So the kids listening to this, and you know, I feel that now he's on that thing. I can just bang man out with one punch,
Mm.
and I feel that he learned a lot last night because now we realize you can't just go in there and bang man out. You might put man down, but they get back up and fight you even harder. So, and this is just at the embryonic stage of his career. So they just got to be, and when I say they, I'm saying his dad, because his dad is in control. I'm telling the fighters right that. His dad needs to listen to what I'm saying and do not let anybody rush you. There has to be careful matchmaking. Personally, I wouldn't put him top of the bill. It shouldn't be like I wouldn't put him top of the bill now. Maybe a couple more fights, maybe an English title. Again, I do know the promoters' problem as well. Matching him, matching him is wrong. But it's just that his age is 20 years old. 4 already fucked up Yar's career. Please stop giving advice. Stick to carrying the spit bucket. 4, see you later. You don't even. Yeah, but anyway, going back to what I was saying, it's just a case of just being easy. But if you're good enough, someone will say you're old enough. So they're in a tricky position. They just got to just match him right. But it was a good opponent for Adam. He done well. He's got star quality and star ability written all over him. But believe me, there's levels to this thing here. There's levels to this thing here. And you just got to I know it's his dream to be the youngest ever world champion. And, you know, please God that happens. But from a trainer's perspective, I just think that after last night, you see that there's a lot to work on. A lot to work on with him.
Yep.
Spence?
And I totally agree. But I do think the young man's very, very good. Right? But I think Sky are looking for someone to build into a pay-per-view star.
Yes.
But
which he will be. I believe he will be that.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, I think Adam Azin shouldn't be top of the bill yet.
Yeah, maybe. So I just read someone say they should do it as a next generation. I think that's good.
Yeah, that would be excellent for them to go to, right? Because that way you could be top of the bill and it's being called well, you can't really say next gen's being used already, but your main future stars or something else like that, whatever, right? And then build him up steadily. But unfortunately, it's not been the case. But do I think he's good? I think he's very good, Tom. Yeah, I think he's very, very good. I've seen him box before. Yeah,
you know, they live boxing. The family live boxing. You know, the mother, the father. It's a joint effort, and they know one person in that family that I've always supported and always given the extra boost is Hassan Azim. And it's good to see he got the stoppage last night, and you know he's moving forward with his career and getting good. Yeah, I'm watching. Uncle Tunde's watching while gone. You see what I'm saying? And although I have no direct, you know, contact, I'm a boxing fan, and I'm an analyst, and I'm gonna say how I feel it. But so, you know, Hassan really is the one that's below the radar. But all he needs to do is just keep on doing what he's doing, and you get better. If you keep doing what you're doing consistently with focus, you get better. So, and everybody will get what they deserve. So, big up the Azim family and the Azim brothers. On to Caroline. Hey, what's all this dirty thing on the Gary, come on, man. Block off these little dirty people on the thing. Try to, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Spence, Caroline Dubois. Moving on to Caroline Dubois.
I like Caroline. I think she's all business. But I can't really assess much of the opponent that she had in front of her. So it's very difficult for me to say, well, this, that, and all the rest of it. She did what she had to do against the opponent that she was meant to go and do that to. Oh my goodness gracious, Reverend Claude. Reverend Claude's got a really, really good book out. Yeah, so I've got to big up the Reverend Claude. He's actually a proper ordained Church of England Reverend. Yep. Any thoughts on Eddie Hearn not fulfilling his offer to AJ to Dylan White? It's now possibly a summer fight. Love you both, man. Big up, Spencer. Yep. You know what? I still think we're going to see that. If because I spoke to Dylan the other day, he weren't best pleased about the situations, right? Which I spoke to Tunde about. I'm not going to let the viewers know, but I spoke to Dylan a couple of days ago, and all Dylan wants to do is actually fight. Dylan wants to get in there with AJ or whoever. Now, what I am saying is this: I believe that we've got AJ comes out victorious, then his next fight will be against Dylan White. That's what I believe.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's what I believe, and then they'll be looking to try and slip AJ in to fight for a world title. But I see it going in that order. And Dylan White's ready. Dylan White's out doing his trains out in Portugal right now, doing his bits. So yeah, that's what I think was going to happen. Because
it's another fight that, again, on the rebuilding of Anthony Joshua, I don't think Dylan will look at it as a rebuilding.
No,
look at that. But I'm coming to clap man out. But yeah, I mean, I would not be upset at that schedule. You know, Franklin, April the 1st. Dylan, summer, and I guess the winner of that fight definitely, because it's not a foregone conclusion. You know, Dylan's still gonna come. You know, provided Anthony Joshua gets through Franklin, which I'm expecting him to do quite easily. The two of them having a matchup in summer is good. That would be good. But anything can happen in boxing. We just have to wait. Have to wait. Yes. Remember, we're talking about the elite guys. You know, there's a big gap in between the elite guys and everybody else. And so anybody who's at this level, bro, they've done very, very well. Very, very well. Literally a dream come true. Eddie always using Dylan's name to sell and fights over the 4 years. Proper carrot dangling. Not too sure. I don't know. Spencer would really.
I ain't calling that man's name.
What man?
Well, some of the question was there. That man, that Eddie man. I'm not calling his name.
Why? What you done with Eddie? What's Eddie done to you?
I'm nothing. But I'm just not calling his name because he's calling my name regular these days. Or it's like because of there's so much blinking cowards in boxing, they won't say certain things. So they say, "Oh, by the way, Spencer Fearon said." So yeah, I mean, I'm not calling his name.
Well, listen. Anyway, that's your business. Don't come bring me your mix up. Because you know me, I'm friend with all the promoters. I'm friend with all the Gary. You know, Spencer's trying to bring man his mix up. Next thing I can't get in no Eddie Hearn fight.
I can, so don't worry about it. So if I can, you definitely can.
Yeah, for sure. I'm friend with all the promoters. Ben Shalom, Eddie Hearn, bruv, top rank, what's his name? Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, Steven Espinosa.
Yeah, John Khan. You know what? Sims box. Look, I watched up to round 7. I said, "Bro, I'm dusting, bro."
Is that that guy that was calling out Anthony? Calling out Anthony. Anthony. And I see him last
time. He's been trained by.
I've never watched him fight, but I'm like, bro, this is what I'm trying to say. People talk too much.
He's stuck in styles, bro.
People talk too much. This guy really thinks that he can get in the ring with Anthony Yard. Come on now, please. Anyway, big up Pterodactyl. I love that name, Pterodactyl. Dylan is obsessed with AJ. Some way he had a warm-up, AJ can have one too. Same way he had a warm-up, AJ can have. I agree with that, Pterodactyl. I'll be honest with you, again, I mean, listen, in a real world, AJ will probably have about 2 or 3 warm-ups. You get me? We'll have about 2 or 3 warm-ups.
Yeah.
it's experience, and a lot of people won't understand what it means. But when you're going in with guys with 200-300 amateur fights, again, you gotta just look at yourself and say, "But thank God, I'm where I am for a reason," you know. But that still doesn't get over the reality of experience does mean something. It does. It does. It's that. But listen, they're fighters. They're gonna take the challenge if it's presented to them. So yeah, what do we think about? I mean, we're moving off now. We've actually covered our subject matters for the evening, but let's keep on rolling for a few minutes. What do you think about Joyce against Zhang, April the 15th? I've got a young fighter on that bill, so I'm happy about that.
Good fight, very good fight. I'm looking forward to going today as well to support Joel, Tunde's fighter. But
stop saying Arsenal are dead. Arsenal are top of the league. Love it or hate it. Don't, bro. It's obvious you're hating it, but just love it, respect it. Go on, Spence.
Yeah, so I'm saying that's a good fight because I believe that Zhang beat Hrgovic, but then also I'm taking into consideration Hrgovic's dad just passed away, which I didn't know. I just found out the other day off of the show. Someone told me. So that's why maybe his performance was a little bit off. But I thought Zhang won that fight and got robbed. Thank you very much. Harlem Boston saying the same thing as I'm saying. I thought Halim. Oh, sorry. These damn glasses. Anyway, so I'm glad now that he's got the opportunity in another big fight. But Jollof Joe, as Tunde calls him, he's one serious campaigner. He is one serious brother.
Let me tell you something. Zhang best be doing some different road work. He best be doing road work with Usain Bolt because this brother is gonna test. Jollof Joe is gonna test your stamina.
Yep.
To the fullest. I think Jollof Joe is gonna, because Zhang's a good boxer. If you're looking at it from a boxing technical standpoint, I definitely have to favor with Zhang from what I've seen. But I just think Jollof Joe Joyce is an unstoppable target. He's an unstoppable object. You just can't stop him, bro. Like you fling anything at him, he's coming forward. He will start doing cabarero in the ring and still come forward. He broke Parker's heart. And there are only, there's a few fighters, very few fighters like that. Joe Joyce at heavyweight, especially. Tyson Fury has turned into that kind of beast. Although in his last contest with Derek, he went back to fantastic boxing ability. But Joe Joyce, you know what you're getting when you're fighting Joe. Ain't gonna be no try box and move thing. You're just gonna get a ramrod jab in your face and then just work.
Ben Oldham. Start the team.
Come on. 100. How many nairas is what's the equivalent of naira for £100? I gotta do more research. But before I do that, thank you so much, Ben. You know you're the top dog in this thing here. £100. Ben doesn't put nothing but £100. So we already know what kind of peas that he's cutting. But he says AJ versus Prime George Foreman. I'll be honest with you. That Prime George Foreman, the only way you could beat him is exactly how Muhammad Ali beat him, which is take him to a hot country where he can't breathe. Take him to a hot country where he can't breathe and just do the rope-a-dope.
October 30th, 1974 in Zaire.
And just do the rope-a-dope. But I'm being honest with you. George, look what he done to Fraser. Look what he done to Norton. He just pulverized these guys.
Listen.
He pulverized these guys.
This is what I'm going to take it. Like, George Foreman was regarded as big George Foreman. George Foreman was only 6'3.5", you know?
Yeah, he looks
right?
bigger than.
Right. So So AJ taller than he. But and not only that, George Foreman used to do a lot of novice mistakes in boxing. That's why Muhammad Ali always said this is a good amateur boxer against a world class fighter in myself. So he'd always regard him as like you're a kid to me. But the reason why, similarly to Deontay Wilder, because they had so much power, they didn't have a business about doing all this technical stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. But I'm being honest, as well as power, George Foreman had a such a strong mind. Mentally.
Mm.
Even if you go and watch a lot of, which I have, a lot of old George Foreman interviews, you actually listen to. You just have to. It's like you just listen to your dad, a father talking to his son. He's so strong mentally, and I feel that's what carried him all the way through his career. The ability to come back to boxing and win a title in his 40s. You can't do that if you don't have this. And
George Foreman was incredible.
And the fact that AJ said
it was incredible. Let's just
call it. That AJ had said himself, look how big he is, he can't do the rounds. These men were fighting 15 rounds.
Yep. But George
Foreman, I always look at
the went 15 rounds in his life, Dalton.
I say again?
George Foreman never ever went 15 rounds in his life.
Okay, yeah, he's in that 15-round era.
Yeah, he was in that 15-round era. But George Foreman, he was just such. There's a movie out with him now. Do you see it?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. We're going to get the hook up for that to go and see that. George Foreman was just a ridiculous puncher. And the thing is this also, ridiculous puncher, but George Foreman had a fantastic chin.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Even in later years, he had a ridiculous chin, Tom. So I would have had George Foreman knocking out Anthony Joshua. I'm sorry, but I'm saying that is.
Halim said
he never respected him either.
Anyway, okay. Well, Ben Odom, thank you for the £100. I've now done my research, and 100 British pounds is 55,000 naira. So every time you put £100, I'm gonna say thank you for the 55,000, because that's what it's equivalent to. Bruv, we go Niger with 55,000 naira. You get everything, mate. Driver and everything. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for agreeing with me as well, Ben. That's how I see it. And even more so, you got to think 20 years after him losing his world title, right? I think it was November 25th, 1994. He knocks out Michael Moorer, right?
Yes, to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
George Foreman was a bad man. Let's realize that part there.
Yes.
Right. George Foreman was a bad man. And it was a horrible puncher as well. Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you very much, Capo. Yeah, I'll just talk this thing.
I think we've run out of things to talk about. So we've done good. We've done good. That's like, how long is that? That's like over 2 hours.
Yes. I just knew the trick. What happened was I trained those young kids. So I've got to say a massive big up to the kids at Broccoli Connect. So I trained these group of young men, and I left from there and I come straight back home. I got back to the station at 20 to, I got back indoors, at 20 to 8, jumped in the shower. So I was kind of up and I was ready to go for today. And it's been really, really good. I really enjoyed today's chat, Tom. Very, very good. Thanks to every single person who's been on the live with us. I've also got to say a massive happy birthday to Country Don. He's not on it today because I know he's celebrating his birthday, but massive, my longest friend, meaning he's been friends since I've been 3 years old down in Kenneton, and it's his birthday today. So a massive happy birthday to Country Don, he's not just a friend, he's family to me. So have a really, really good happy birthday. And I'm looking forward to this week with Talk Time with Tunde this Thursday. So you guys make sure you tune in to that. And this week, maybe Tuesday, I might come on the show, give you a break after this. Might just talk memory lane, history. Might just go through history.
Go Monday. But I will announce the show properly this Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Second episode, Talk Time with Tunde. And this week, this subject, I know it. Most people in there, unless your name's Ben Oden. The subject matter for this week, I'm hoping I get Anton, Mr. ITV, on with me this week, is going to be how can we cope with the cost of living crisis? Because everything gone up. Everything's up.
I might get that the financial analyst Emmanuel, who's everywhere. I'm going to talk. He's my good friend.
Yes.
And he goes church down in Kenton, like where my mom lives. It'd be good to get him on there, you know. Yeah, yes. It'd be good. So I'm gonna
send work. What's the matter, Christopher Anthony? Send work. No. It's not a joke. Listen, I was rolling around playing tunes in my car the other day, and I got a message, and the message was, "You're there rolling around in your car all over London playing music like there ain't no petrol crisis going on." Because petrol's expensive. But you know, listen, it's I know there's a lot of people that have even privately messaged me and said that you know they want to hear other stories. And so please, anyone, you know, the line's going to be open for communication. Some people don't want to show their face, but all the same have stories to say. I know one of the things we're going to be talking about is the gas issue that happened a few weeks or months back, where British Gas was actually just entering people's single mothers' houses and just taking off the meter and putting a pay-as-you-go meter. Like, bro, you know, there's a lot of things going out there right now that's affecting people, and we want to hear from you. You know, it's a talk, and we want to hear opinions. And petrol is expensive.
Emmanuel,
how you doing, sir?
We're live on The Fight Is Right. Baba Tunde, Ajayi, Emmanuel. What you're like the new financial guru, a financial advice guy. Who I see you all the time on the TV shows, all the time on BBC, Sky, using you a lot as well. You're the go-to person. Tunde has a show. Wait, when's your book launch? What day is it?
It's this Thursday.
Ah, brother. Unfortunately, we can't do it then because Tunde's got his show this Thursday as well. But you know what? I'm coming to the book launch. So when I come, because Tunde's got his show on at that time. What's the name of your book?
Get Your Money Right.
Right, Get Your Money Right.
What's up there, Spence? Again, people, obviously, my man can't be with us. What's his name, sir? Sorry?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel can't be with us, but for anyone who's on the line now, and I know there's like 300 people live, Emmanuel's book will be coming, Get Your Money Right, and it's in line with what we will be discussing on Thursday. So even having you here for the few minutes is great. So just give your book a plug, and where the Fight Is Right listeners can get it, because it's actually something that's affecting most of us today. You know, the cost of living crisis.
So maybe you guys don't know who Emmanuel is. The very smartly turned out black guy with the smart glasses that is on every blinking TV program telling people how to deal with financial conditions. So he's a financial consultant. He's got his own financial consultancy group over in Canary Wharf. And he's actually got his book launch this Thursday. I knew it was this week, but I didn't know what day it was, unfortunately. But Tunde's doing his talk show. But maybe I'm going to come to it, and maybe at the time when it's on, we can just grab you for a few moments for you to join Tunde's wicked show. Can we talk with Tunde Ajayi? But Emmanuel, I'm going to see you on Thursday, bro.
No, thank you. It's been an honor. Today, I love you. I love what you do. I love what you stand for. So it's great to speak to you. And thanks a lot, Spencer, for the time, and I really appreciate it.
No, man.
Manuel. Actually, Spencer didn't allow you to talk. We was listening to Spencer. We weren't listening to you. But please, just give us a quick rundown. Oh my goodness gracious, Emmanuel, just hold on for 1 second. Nidra Gupta has beaten Ben Odom by contributing £174.99. He says, sorry, Ben, but Arsenal winning the title this year. Lions in the camp. Blessings to the best channel out there and prayers to all dealing with any challenges in their life. Love. What? Nah, I know you got Ben mad now because there's no way Ben is making Mr. Gupta beat him. So just keep that battle going. But anyway, back to Emmanuel. Thank you. I just had to shout out Ben, £174.99. What I want you to do, Manuel, is just quickly outline what your book is about and where we can purchase your book.
Sure, thank you. So my book is basically about getting your money right. So I've been a financial advisor for over 15 years, and I basically share the stuff that I've learned over that 15 years, the things that I've learned with different clients on how people can be better with their money. But I do it in a down-to-earth, more relatable way, a bit more humorous, so people can easily understand it. And I use examples in every chapter so people can relate to it and get their money right. It's not just about saving. So, a lot of gurus now will talk about how much you can save, but we've been cutting since the lockdown. So the book also teaches about how you can start to make money, how you can invest your money, and also how you can keep more of your money away from the tax man and so forth.
Oh, this is brilliant. I need a book now. I need to slide me a copy right now so I can start investing in Emmanuel. But this is brilliant. Oh my God, Emmanuel, sorry.
Wait there, one second.
We've started a war, a bidding war going on. You're talking about invest money, but the people who are investing in the fight is right. Ben Odom, he's like, don't even try that, Mr. Gupta. And I told you, Ben is a Ghanaian and he's a man. You ain't beating him. Ben, he just donated £200 to the fight is right. And he said, don't do that. Man, a few words. He's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're trying to come with 174, but I just lash you with 200. Put that up, Gary, and put up a man of few words. Put that comment up for Ben Odom that says, don't do that. 200 squiller. Listen, Emmanuel, you talk about saving money, but the people that are dashing money in the Snapchat. This is fantastic. Big up, Ben. Thank you. Sorry, Emmanuel. We go off the route sometimes because this is just a wonderful show, and people obviously they're happy we're giving them something to do on a Sunday evening. But yeah, carry on, Emmanuel.
No, so yeah, it's just about actually looking at how you can grow your money, make it work for you. It's a guide, and yeah, just share my experience and try and empower people. I think money and finance is a life skill. We don't learn it in school. So rather than waiting on the school or the education system or the bank to try and teach you, because they're making money off your bad financial decisions, I've got a book out to try and help you be better and empower you with the money. So that's what the book is about.
And is the book only available from, obviously, after you do the book launch? And where is it available?
Yes, it's available on Amazon, WH Smith and so forth. It's also got audiobook as well. So for those that prefer to listen, you can have the audiobook as well. But yeah, but most people are buying it from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
This is fantastic. And I'm definitely, maybe obviously Thursday won't be possible, but I would love to just get you on the show when I do my show on Thursdays. And because, people, they need to know, as you've said, they may say save, but we ain't been taught how to invest our money, and I think that's a big thing with a lot of our parents. They knew about saving, but they didn't know how to make their money grow. We don't know how to make our grow. There's many people, even on this live now, that have no idea other than going to work, earning a wage, and putting it in the bank. That's all they know. They don't know nothing else. So I just feel that you're a pillar of our community, and I'm also.
He's just saying that. Go on, continue, Emmanuel.
I just say that's not by accident. That's on purpose. That's where they want us to be. So that's why, for me, working with Spencer, people try and use our platform to leverage to get us to understand where we can. So rather than being consumers, we become owners.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Emmanuel. Wish you all the... Gary, put up the title of Emmanuel's book, please, on the screen. I think it's called Get Your Money Straight. Is that right? Get Your Money Right?
Get your money right.
Get your money right.
Yeah, let's put that out there, Spence. Gary, Get Your Money Right.
Right, Emmanuel, pronounce your surname correctly, sir.
No problem. Asiko.
Asiko.
Asiko, what's your heritage, Mr. Asiko?
Nigerian.
Hey, Shidike. I told you the Nigers are taking over this whole thing, Spence. You just can't deny it. You just can't deny it. We're just giving
Listen,
up.
I'm not dividing anybody.
This is not division. This is just facts. But thank you very much, Mr. Asiko. Yeah, there you go. And that ain't definitely how you spell his name. Is that how you spell your name?
That's how you spell it. That's how you spell it.
Is that how you spell it?
Definitely. Because I know Gary Googled it.
Oh yeah, because you know Gary's sharp. All right, cool.
Sharp as a tack.
I've never actually seen that name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So anyway, Emmanuel, I saw you and your beautiful wife out yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Looking flamboyant, flying, flashy. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing you on Thursday at your book launch, and I wish you all the best because you are just a proper guy. First time I met the brother, he was just mad love. So yeah, all the best, my friend, and thank you for jumping on The Fight Is Right, my brother. Love.
Thank you guys. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, Emmanuel. Thank you very much, sir. And yeah, Gary's even actually put up the link to purchase Emmanuel's book. And listen, man, we're just here to help. We are actually here to help. All positivity on this. We're giving, our opinions. There's no ulterior motive. We're not doing it to boost up another company or anything like that. We're just talking, and not everything we say is always right, but we're gonna say it anyway, regardless. And as long as you're not coming back with nasty responses or saying anything negative on our channel, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I feel that's why The Fight Is Right continues to grow from strength to strength. Spence, it's almost 10:30.
Listen, man, we've done.
Rest in peace, Ron Lewis. God Almighty.
Ron Lewis, the writer.
Yes, Spence. I couldn't believe it.
What are you talking about?
Ron Lewis passed suddenly.
From what?
I don't know, but he was at the AJ presser.
What are you talking about, brother?
When I heard it last night, I was like, nah, let me just wait for the picture to come up. That cannot be Ron. Because Ron, the last time I saw Ron, me and Ant was coming from the Arsenal game. And we bumped into him. And when I say this, Ant will know who I'm talking about. And he goes to me, I heard you and Better Behav's made. And I was like, we knew it was, but I was like, I don't even know. But you have to ask Frank. And I just heard last night, again, man, rest in peace to Ron Lewis, his family, his friends.
Tyrone Booth, from a heart attack. Bro.
Heart attack, apparently. Heart attack. Life is short, and he just he's a great boxing writer. One of the good guys,
proper good guy, Ton. Proper good guy, proper honest guy. And the reason why I liked him is he'd give his opinion and you couldn't take offense to his opinion.
Nah, because he said it in such a smooth way. It's like, bro, okay,
you know what I mean?
Another
mad. Because I've been so today, I didn't even hear this. That's a mad one. That's thrown me.
I'm surprised because they done a is it 12 bells at the Azim fight? You
know what? That's the thing. I didn't stay for Adam Azim's fight. I told you.
Okay, yeah, I think it might have been just before it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't even hear that, and wow, that is a mad one. And then things like this is like him and Ron McIntosh were pretty close. And I spoke to Ron today, but Ron never even mentioned that to me. What can you?
Yeah, well, listen, Rest in peace, Ron Lewis.
Yeah, man. Ron, rest in peace, my brother.
Great,
Oh,
great
man.
service to the sport of boxing. Yeah, listen, boxing is a sport where we all love. Everyone's got an opinion, but the thing is that one thing I always try to say is don't take this thing too serious, because life is the most precious thing.
Bro.
Us disagreeing, me saying, you're blocked if you carry on with that. It's just talk. Like, bro, it's with life. Everyone is entitled to their opinion.
It's
And
not
I say that because I read Marx, the one who I said minor block is like, bro, you can't be threatening man's them. That's why he's like, bro, you can't be threatening man's them. Bro, you know the thing. Like, this is our little joke. It's just like your friend in the barbershop coming at you. We just want some parliamentary procedure sometimes. We don't want no bad mind or things coming from a bad place. And when I read it, I was kind of upset that you said you're gone. Because if you're saying you're gone, you're gone. But guess what? We're going to be here next week. So you can't take the little cussing. You see that many times I've cussed Spencer on this thing. And we don't take it personal. We just like, Spencer most times will just tell me to shut up.
African. But what?
I would just carry on with it. So if you can't take the banter as well as the criticism,
seriously, to all of Ron's family, my condolences, man. I am still in shock over that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen,
big up my guy Ben Oldham. Big up Tunde and Spencer. Inspiring thoughts today. Bless up. And seriously, that is a great way to end the show.
Gupta, you had to manners up yourself with that last comment, because, bro, do not mess about with Ben Oldham. You got to understand, when Ben Oldham is putting £100, he's just playing with man. He just playing with you. Like, he just like, give him £100. Cool, he's just playing with you. But when you try to run up your mouth, you saw what Ben Oldham done to the Americans. The Americans tried to come on there talking all that talk. Ben Oldham just cancelled them all. He cancelled them all because Ben can put his money where his mouth is. A great supporter of ours and someone that love him to death. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again once. Thank you all once again for joining myself, the one and only Spencer Fearon, and the man behind the cam, Mr. Invisible himself, but very, very violent when he needs to be. Enough time Gary be like, nah, I ain't having that. But you don't see that because Gary's just anonymous. Yeah, Gary's the man, trust me. Small but violent. Yeah, violent, but he's one of them cats that will just scratch up your whole face and just run off. Anyway, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, we end exactly the way we start, with the magical words. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Coming up. Peace, two fingers. Join us this week, not us, but join Tunde Ajayi this week from 8 o'clock with Can We Talk with Tunde Ajayi. I'm going to...
You're saying Can We Talk? That's because you got gas from the tune Can We Talk. It's called Talk Time with Tunde.
It's Can We Talk.
Can We Talk? You there listen to Can We Talk?
Kevin Campbell, that's a big boy tune. I don't want to hear no talk out of one's mouth.
Yeah, and big up Jolene, because Jolene is the one that told me fling the Tevin Campbell on them, throw the Tevin Campbell on them, and that will boost up the whole something. Because when I first I'm going on again. When I first done the advert, I had some gunman tune in it. And Jolene phoned me and she said, "What are you doing? This is what I love about the fans, Jolene's like, "What are you doing? You can't be playing all them gunman tune like that. You're messing up the vibration." She said, so she gave me a little selection of tunes. And she said, yeah, the Tevin Campbell's the one. So I know, as Snap says, the Tevin Campbell song is in your head now. So it is Talk Time with Tunde. Let me just correct my brother. And yeah, we're back Thursday, 8 p.m. with another topic. And if anyone has got any topic which they would like me to talk about, let me know. Let me know, because that's what it is. It's Talk Time with Tunde. And it's a chance for us to move away from the boxing per se. And because boxing is something that we love, and but when we're dealing with reality, which boxing is, there's other things than boxing. There's real life situations that are going on in the world, and that's when we change the kind of, not energy, but we change the frequency of the talk. So yeah, come on. Yeah, I know you like his surname, Kurt. You man are too vain. But anyway, I'm gonna say it again. We got sidetracked there because I'm just bigging up Jolene because she's like, nah. Change that music. And Tevin Campbell, I bet you I'm gonna relive. Oh, you see, when we want to go, someone always says something. Let us send our well wishes to those who have been affected in Turkey, Syria. It's really, really, we need to take time and know that the people have lost their lives in the thousands, and we were wishing everyone in that situation at the moment God's blessings, and we hope everything is resolved as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we end again for the third time with the magical words: dream it, believe it, become it.
Coming up and later. Good night, everybody.